Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill after the president met with House Republicans yesterday to drum up support.
The president did, though, warn House Republicans, don't F with Medicaid, and had other stern words for holdouts disagreeing over deductions to state and local taxes known as SALT. Politico is reporting tonight that a tentative deal has been reached with blue state Republicans to raise the SALT cap.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth joining President Trump Tuesday, announcing plans for a missile defense system known as the Golden Dome.
The Golden Dome for America is a game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans.
Severe weather hitting the South overnight. A tornado reported on the ground in Jackson, Georgia. Others also reported in Alabama and North Georgia. America is listening to Fox News.
Get ready to ignite your senses. Smoking on the Plaza is back and hotter than ever in Lovington, New Mexico. Join the fun Friday, May 30th, starting at 4 p.m. and Saturday, May 31st at noon. It's a weekend packed with mouth-watering food, unique vendors, and electrifying live music. Friday's lineup features the Wicked West Band, Liquid Gypsy, and Pecos and the Rooftop. Saturday keeps the beat with Conjunto Bengala, followed by A.B. Quintanilla and Cumbia All-Stars. And that's not all. Experience the thrill of mechanical bull riding, glide at the skating rink, or unleash your creativity in the splatter room. This free event is Lovington Main Street's annual fundraising extravaganza. Plus, the IBCA-sanctioned cook-off is still accepting participants. Your chance to compete at Nationals awaits. Don't miss this sizzling celebration in the heart of downtown Lovington. Visit SmokingOnThePlaza.com for more info or enter your team. That's SmokingOnThePlaza.com.
This is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Now through June 2nd, we have a great selection of Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, and more.
I'm a pet sitter, and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas.
All right, your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go places.
Visit Permian Toyota in Hobbs today. Toyota, let's go places.
Do any of these excuses for not wearing a seatbelt sound familiar to you?
I don't really like to feel restrained at all.
I don't like the way it fits on me.
Real men don't wear seatbelts.
What do you think airbags are for?
I drive really safe, and I'm only going a couple of miles, so I thought...
I don't like to wear them. There's not very many cars on the road.
I drive without my seatbelt all the time, and nothing ever happens.
Law enforcement throughout New Mexico will be on the lookout for those not wearing a seatbelt. Click it or ticket. This message brought to you by NMDOT.
At Franklin Veterinary Clinic, they're a full-service clinic that offers comprehensive care for family pets, equine athletes, and livestock alike. They have multiple veterinarians on staff providing the best possible care for your animals at every stage of their life. And when emergencies arise, they offer 24-hour ambulatory services and after-hour emergency care. The new emergency number is 575-808-7725. Franklin Veterinary Clinic, a tradition in excellence and caring, proudly serving Lincoln, Chavez, and Otero counties.
Apache Spirit Club members 55 and better, hop in and get ready to win. Join the $30,000 Race for Cash drawing all May. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., you could be one of 5 lucky players to win our drawing for up to $2,500 cash or $150 in free Spirit Play. High fives for 55, $30,000 Race for Cash drawing at Inn of the Mountain Gods. Must be 21 or older. Visit innofthemountaingods.com or see Apache Spirit Club for details.
Get ready for some serious fun at the 4th Annual Turfs Flag Football Tournament, hosted by United Way of Lee County. Coming up Saturday, June 14th, 2025 at Hobbs High School's Watson Stadium. Gates open at 8 a.m. and it's a full day of excitement with food vendors, family fun, and a special appearance by football star Jadian High. Even better, it's all for an amazing cause. Every dollar raised supports the Hobbs Schools Crisis Fund, helping kids facing homelessness stay in school and succeed. Think you've got what it takes? Team registration is open now, but don't wait. The deadline to register is May 30th. Sign up your team, show your skills, and be part of something bigger than the game. That's the Turfs Flag Football Tournament, Saturday, June 14th at Watson Stadium. Football, food, fun, and giving back. Don't miss it. See you there.
What is the Safe Haven Law? In New Mexico, you can bring your infant up to 90 days old to any Safe Haven site without fear of being criminally charged. This includes hospitals, fire stations, and police departments. Monica Kelsey, founder of Safe Haven Baby Boxes, has worked diligently to provide 3 baby box locations for your convenience. Hobbs's Baby Box is at Fire Station 1, 301 East White Street. Carlsbad's Baby Box is at Fire Department Station 1, 401 South Halegueno Street. Roswell's Baby Box is at their Central Fire Station, 200 South Richardson Avenue. Remember, if you can't make it to one of these Safe Haven Baby Box locations, you can take your infant to any hospital, police department, or fire station. No shame, no blame, and no names. Visit shbb.org for more information.
Southeast New Mexico weather.
Over the southeast plains of New Mexico on this Wednesday, the temperatures are really warm. In fact, above average by about 10 degrees or so at 93 degrees in Roswell, 96 degrees in Carlsbad, Artesia, and 90 degrees at our radio studios in Lobbyton. Our studios tomorrow, 95 degrees in Carlsbad, 99 degrees. For W105 FM, I'm meteorologist Ron Urbans.
Your country plays on W105.
Oh my God! Have your attention, please. It's a show with hit written all
Let's go quickly. You're on.
Oh, that sounds great. Hey, yo, stop the show. Don't try to stop me, 'cause I gotta go. Action!
Are you ready? Let's roll.
Where to go? Green time. Where to go?
Your morning show powered by your Ford dealer. Be in the Breakfast Club being powered by Permian Ford. Broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. The question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply with the largest selection of parts for heavy trucks and semis. Call or text now. 877-396-W105 to talk to us. Text line brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer.
Move it, move it, move it.
Call or text now. 877-396-W105 to talk to us.
Hello there. Hello. Welcome. Welcome back.
Hi, are you my waiter?
Are you my waiter? Where are my waitresses?
Waitress!
Waitress?
You are a waitress.
Waiter? Oh, waiter!
Today is National Waiter and Waitress Day.
But I prefer the term.
We prefer the term server.
What about tips? I make my living on tips.
Tips not included.
Tip is not included.
Showtime!
Beyond the Breakfast Club. Our number 877-396-W105. That's text line. You can call our text being brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Find them in Roswell or at amigo-machinery.com. Broadcasting from the End of the Mountain God studio, being powered by our buddies at Permian Ford, where you can always find a great deal on the ride that you're looking for. Yeah, question of the day this morning being brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer. They also have truck parts. In fact, they have the largest selection of truck parts. I'm talking about heavy-duty trucks, semis, that type of thing. They've got all the truck parts. They are your Napa dealer. Find them Avenue D in Lovington. And, of course, we're broadcasting all over, wherever you're listening or watching us. We're all over the place. Help me, Blake. Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch.
YouTube.
Facebook. You already said Facebook. Yeah, old-fashioned. You could just go to W105 Radio.
There's a couple others, too. I'm trying to remember. Kick. We're on Kick.
Kick.
A few other things. So if you can stream there, we're probably there.
Yeah. So if you're looking for us, you want to share us with your friends, that would be awesome if you would do that. It would. So God bless. All right. Today, Monica, every once in a while, I will wear a shirt from back in the day when Joe Biden was running against Donald Trump. I fit into this shirt this morning. I looked at it and said, I think I'm going to wear that later because everywhere I would go, this shirt would get a lot of people because it says I identify as non-Bidenary.
Oh, yeah, I remember those shirts.
Non-Bidenary. Anyway, this shirt used to fit me snug. And now I could fit Tom A almost in this shirt.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so... Back in the day when I was about 210, and
Good
so Bidenary, yeah. I wore this on the airplane. I got dirty looks, and then I got people like, I love that shirt. Where did you get that shirt? Non-binary. All right, 609. Question of the day this morning is when it comes to waiters and waitresses, how much do you tip? And I'll start it off. Look, if you are decent, I give you 15%. If you're extremely well at what you do, it's a 20%. It's very rare I go over 25%. But from time to time, I might, if it's especially if it's somebody that I've known and is, single mom and that type of stuff. Yeah, I'll go over 20%. But it's usually 15 to 20. And we have to remember, back in the day, 15 was expected. And then all of a sudden it went up to 20. But if you give me exceptional service, I will give you a minimum of 20%. So, Monica, what's your thought on tipping?
So you're gonna laugh at my tipping because it's kind of strange, but I totally disregard the whole 15 whatever percent. So say the bill comes out to like 122.34, I just round up to 150. If they were pretty good, like we have a big family, so I just always add in what. So in that case, it would have been like 27 and some change for my bank account's sake and for my sanity. I try to even it out.
That way everything is
and sometimes it is 15%. Sometimes it's over. Sometimes it's less than. I'm just. And if you're
Blake,
standing up, if you're standing up taking my order, like the Starbucks, I never tip like the Starbucks little order people.
No,
I can't stand that.
I'm not. I mean, that's your job.
Exactly.
I mean, you're not.
They aren't servers.
Correct.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate the little tip jars and stuff. I'm like,
Now, if I get a massage or something, I tip.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I had hair and got a haircut, I would probably tip for that.
Yep.
So, Blake, what's your role on tipping on National Waiters and Waitresses Day?
Well, I think I'm falling kind of in line with you. 15% is kind of my baseline. If you're really good, I will go over that. Just depends on how good you were and honestly how much extra money I have.
Right.
And what if somebody is having a crappy day? Because look,
but you can tell. You can tell if they're just having a bad day, but they're trying to be good at their job.
Right.
I probably will give them extra. Right, they're just having a bad day. But if they're just a lousy server,
and I would find this a whole bunch when I was living in Ruidoso, that the wait staff was just like not good at, and I love the restaurants, but the wait staff. Now there were wait staff that was exceptional, so I'm not throwing everybody in that.
Right.
But yeah, we were at the IHOP one Sunday morning, and it's packed. And this chick definitely didn't want to be there.
Right.
And she's just like, "What do you want?"
And see, in that case, I usually reach in my pocket for the 2 pennies, and I leave 2 pennies on the table.
Damn, who you think you are? My wife or something? What do you want?
That's where that expression "giving you my 2 cents" came from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. What do you want?
And when
what I want is for you to put a smile on your face and act like you want to be here.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time because I haven't had service that was that bad in a long time. But
yeah, I got that same thing. Popeyes in Louisiana. What do you want?
Well, they don't get tips anyway at Popeyes, but
yeah, but what do you want?
You know what else I hate? When like if you get an order to go, and they're like, "You want to leave a tip?"
No.
For what?
Why would I leave a tip?
I don't like that either.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, why would I leave a tip?
Or if you got takeaway for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
No.
Today is American Red Cross Founders Day, Emergency Medical Service for Children's Day, International Tea Day, as I drink my sweet tea this morning, mixed with some Red Bull. Memo Day. I used to work for a company, and they love sending the damn memos out. I'd be like, I'm right here in the office right next to you. Couldn't you just tell me? What the hell? You're sending memos out like you have a quota or something. Just talk to me. I'm a human being.
I know.
Yeah. Quit with the memo already. Looks like Strawberry and Cream Day going on, National Waiters and Waitress Day, and the Rapture Party Day happening all day today. I am glad that the media, especially on social media, is ripping Chuck Schumer a new one for suggesting that Donald Trump was to blame for the Mexican Navy ship losing control and crashing into the Brooklyn Bridge. That absolutely, it's not Trump's fault. Because if Trump would have had that ship, yeah, the mask would have been even higher. You can count on that, Chuck. Chuck Schumer absolutely lost his damn mind.
I agree.
By the way, he reminds me of Chucky. Remember Chucky, the doll?
Yes.
That's who he reminds me of. Haley, the hawk toy girl, Haley Welch, claims that she had no idea her cryptocurrency was or how it worked before the disastrous meme coin launched. And she made away with a lot of money. And the problem is, right before it crashed, she cashed out.
Well,
people shouldn't be surprised when they buy a coin from a girl that is popular just because
she spit
she
on that
said
thing.
Spit on that thing.
Oh, Lord.
By the way, I'm just going to say right now, she really sucks.
Well,
Kevin.
look, she really spit on
What?
that crypto thing. She really spit on that thing.
She really spit on that thing.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. And by the way, she cashed out. She made millions. Everybody else lost a bunch. George Wendt, best known for playing Norm the bartender.
No.
Running.
He was a bar customer.
Well, yeah, not bartender. Yeah, bar customer on Cheers. Passed away. He was 76. He died yesterday morning.
He did.
Thoughts and prayers.
Which,
was he sick?
If you remember,
76.
Yesterday was the day the final episode of Cheers aired.
Oh, really?
32 years ago.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow, he was holding out.
Oh.
67-year-old Scott Adams, cartoonist,
Dilbert.
Best known. What do you think he was best known for? Dilbert?
Yeah, Dilbert. Yeah.
Yeah. Died from prostate cancer.
No.
And I gotta say, prostate.
No, he didn't.
No?
He hadn't died.
Oh, and now it's. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. Now it's Monday. You had prostate cancer.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
No,
Same cancer that Joe Biden has.
Yes. Yeah. And he also said that Joe Biden must have had it for several years to be at the stage he's at.
Look, I got friends that had prostate cancer and are now very outgoing. One of my friends, hey, doc, actually, drove himself to chemo and went right to work every day. So,
wow.
I mean, and I don't want any cancer, but if I had my druthers, I'd take prostate cancer. And I'll say it again.
I mean,
I don't want any cancer.
No.
I just want to make sure. And yeah.
I mean, Lance Armstrong won the Tour de France 7 times after having it. So
Yeah. 90 Day Fiance star Ben Rathbun passed away from stomach cancer. He was only 55 years young. Cancer, there's one thing about cancer. It does not discriminate.
That's right.
Does not discriminate. It doesn't care what color you are, how much money you got in the bank. It just does not discriminate. All right, before we get to the weather, let me do a Tom A update. I talked to Tom A yesterday and had some choice words for him about returning calls and texting people back and so on and so forth. But more importantly, I had a live talk with him and told him when you do wrong, you tell people you did wrong and apologize and move on.
And
let's see if he listened.
Did he accept that?
We'll find out.
He accepted that, and he said he's got a doctor's appointment Saturday. I told him just go to the doctor. You don't have to go to the specific doctor to get cleared. Just go to the doctor.
Saturday?
Just go to the clinic.
Saturday?
But he's got bigger problems, Monica.
Yeah, I don't know if he even knows when his doctor's appointment is, honestly, because it went from.
No, he's got bigger problems with that. We'll discuss that during a break. He's got bigger problems with the insurance.
Yes.
So that's a bigger problem. So, but I'll pay for him to go to the doctor if he needs me to pay for him to go to the doctor.
Well, I'm kind of confused because,
he paid for it.
He paid
got
for
a
it?
receipt, but I don't think it started. I don't know. I don't know.
And I'm telling
But
you, if you go and we talked about this, whoever
the fine print.
Yes, you have to make sure. Like if you go to Be Well, New Mexico, or the Obamacare, federal thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. There is a thing on there. If you're not signing up at the beginning of the month, that it will ask you, do you want to cover the rest of this month? And you have to say yes, or it automatically doesn't start till the next month.
Yeah. Maybe that was the problem. I don't know. All right, we got good news. Speaker Johnson, good news on the big, beautiful bill. We'll talk about that. Another inmate captured, and a judge denies a motion to dismiss the charges against a Albuquerque man. We'll talk about that. Let me do a quick check of the weather. It's already 6:21. Be on the Breakfast Club. Weather this morning being brought to you by Finn's Country Market. Find them in Artesia. Meat Department has mini specials for Memorial Day. We're off on Monday. You guys realize that?
Monday.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's Fiesta all week long for me, and then I'm off on Monday. I might need that. So, meat specials at Finn's this week.
I think you need to at least do some music for the folks.
Maybe. Well, I'll be here on Monday. You guys will be off. Leg quarters, 49 cents a pound. Boneless beef brisket, $3.48 a pound. Fresh pork spare ribs, $1.77 a pound. Boston butt pork roast, $1.29 a pound. Produce department, get the brand new crop of sweet fancy corn, 5 ears for just $1. Seedless watermelon, $5.99 each. Jalapenos, get them for 99 cents a pound. Cantaloupes, they're sweet and large for $1.99 each. And get the Food Club, 12 packs of soda, all flavors. Get 3 12-packs for $12 today. And Lay's potato chips. Regularly, it's $4.99 a bag. Get 2 bags for $5. And don't forget your hamburger and hot dog buns. Get 2 Food Club 8-count packages of hot dog and hamburger buns for $3. Find it all at Finn's in Artesia. Southeast New Mexico, 91 today and sunny skies. Winds less than 5 miles an hour. 62 tonight, then 96 coming up tomorrow. And Lincoln County, Rio Doso, 79 and sunny today, 54 and clear tonight, then up to 81 for your Thursday. And in Albuquerque, 87 today, sunny skies, 54 tonight, and then 91 coming up on Thursday. We're going to be very, very close to 100-degree temperatures over the weekend in southeast New Mexico. Want to keep up with the forecast? That's easy. All you got to do is go to W105radio.com. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by our buddies at the Twin Wells Fuel Station. If you're driving on 128 this morning and you need fuel, exit Buck Jackson Road. Go down 2.75 miles and fill her up today. They're open to the public, and they're open 24/7. Large facility. It's covered in case of rain or snow or sleet. And they do accept all of your debit cards, credit cards, and fleet cards. Don't sweat it next time you're on 128. Stop and fill up today at the Twin Wells Fuel Station. They remind you to please be safe on the road. Speaker Johnson reached a tentative deal with the blue state Republicans to boost the cap on the SALT deduction. So Speaker Johnson, tentative deal with the blue state Republican lawmakers to boost the cap on state and local deductions, better known as SALT, to $40,000 and the big beautiful bill. So that has been taken care of. There's still a couple Republican holdouts that I don't know if they can actually pass this bill without those two individuals. Fifth inmate has been captured in New Orleans, back in jail, and they're not sending them back to the same jail. Oh no, Corey Boyd is the recent person of interest that has been captured.
Good.
Yeah, no, you're not going to the same facility. And the governor of Louisiana very upset over the conditions of that jail and said he blamed it all on woke and liberalism attacking Orleans Parish. Judge denies the motion to dismiss charges against a man accused of assault at an Albuquerque McDonald's. It's a win for the prosecutors who, in the case against the man accused of violently beating somebody at the McDonald's, and it was unprovoked. Last year, surveillance video shows the man violently beating another customer, leaving the guy in a coma. Police said that Heath Miller was the attacker after the tipster identified him. In a motion, the defense argued that, because it was an anonymous tip, that this guy should get out of jail. By the way, the judge denied that motion. State auditor launching an investigation into millions of dollars missing from Mora County.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is all part of the disaster relief. They said that disaster relief is in risk at this time. State auditors saying that could be about $2.7 million of unaccounted public funds.
So much fraud.
Yeah.
They got to figure out what happened to that money.
Huh. Shouldn't we be protecting the people who stole it and going after the state auditor since he's uncovering
that
it?
Would be like Doge,
right?
But Joseph Macias, who is the state auditor, said, "Look, we're investigating the impact that this will have on wildfire victims,
right,
from Herman's Peak and Calf Canyon."
Yeah. And this is just a great example of why are people okay with going after the fraud here,
right,
but not going after the bigger fraud,
right?
That seems to be a problem.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot of people were wondering about no tax on tips. Senate unanimously approved $25,000 tax break for tipped workers.
Yep.
So U.S. Senate passed that new bill that would offer a tax deduction on tips up to $25,000.
Right. So if you make more than that, though, you got to claim it.
Right. The new bill, an employee with compensation that exceeds $160,000 in the prior tax year would not be eligible for new tax deductions for tips, though. So if you made over $160,000, and I don't know how that works out when it comes to married couples.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if you personally exceeded $160,000 last year on your taxes, that would eliminate you from getting the tax deduction on tips. Yeah. We talked about this yesterday, but it was late in the show. So, State Forester Laura McCarthy, coming down with some pretty strict regulations, and this is going to affect
oil and gas,
oil and gas industry. Yeah, and I mean they list Catherine County, Chaves County, DeBaca County,
Lee,
Doña County, Eddy, Grants, Hidalgo, Lee, Lincoln, Luna, Otero, Roosevelt, Sierra, Socorro, and Torrance, and Valencia counties. And this would mean that no prescribed burns. I can live with. You can live with that, right?
Sure.
No campfires.
Right.
I can live with that. You could probably live with that. But flaring of gas related to oil and gas production is the point that we go, what?
Yeah.
I do not recall ever having seen that before.
I have never seen that.
I think it's a new tactic that they're using to put pressure on oil and gas, because it went on to say that there are specific incidents where they may grant an exception, which means what they want you to have to do in the state of New Mexico before you flare, because they don't like flaring. They want you to fill out paperwork for every single one of them, when and where it is, and then they will tell you if you can or can't.
Now, let me ask you this much. Part of me is being a smartass. The other part of me is not, because it's actually, what about wind and solar? Because how many fires have we had started from windmills? Are solar panels that caught on fire, or the batteries that caught on fire?
A few.
Sure.
A few. But they aren't included in that.
So anybody working in the oil patch that works around flaring, I would love for you to tell me how this affects the oil and gas industry in New Mexico. This is another unfair burden on oil and gas in the state of New Mexico.
Well, and it's designed for a lot of different things. If you think about what it does, it gives them control over those areas where they have to flare to be able to keep producing, or they have to shut down. Well, if they can shut it down, they make one part of their constituency happy because they shut down oil and gas. It's just another tool that they're trying to use.
Blake, yeah, the problem with that is that the state is in the oil and gas business. I mean, they might say they're not, but they are in the oil and gas business when 48% of the state budget is paid for by oil and gas. They're in the oil and gas business. So that reminds me of the saying my grandpa used to say, you're going to cut your nose off to spite your face.
Right. But again, this is designed to shut down any operator that's not, because they can control the public lease anyway. But it's on non-federal, non-municipal, non-tribal land. So if say Chevron owns a land and they lease theirs, but say they own it, you can't flare on private property.
Wow.
So if it's owned by a company, they can't flare. And if it's by one of them, if it's on a lease, then they control the lease for the state, and they can say on state land, no flaring. So if you bid on these leases and got these leases and you're flaring, they can shut you down.
I want to hear from you folks working the oil patch, how this is going to affect. Brian Urlacher had something to say about transgender athletes. I'm going to get to that. Thought for the day coming up in just a second. Monica, we're going to get to the text line. 6:33 morning show this morning. The tweet of the day being brought to you by Zia Guns. Find them today. 1907 North Main in Roswell, over 1,000 guns in stock. Handguns, rifles, and shotguns, looking for personal protection. They have lethal and non-lethal personal protection. Ladies, you've been looking for some personal protection, go and talk to Miss Amanda today. And don't forget, trade in your gun or sell them your gun to get a better gun. And they have a huge selection of guns, over 1,000 firearms in stock at any given time. Ammo, cleaning supplies, tune up your bow. Check them out in Roswell at 1907 North Main. And don't forget, you can always call 575-622-0023. Zia Guns, they're closed on Saturday, always open on Sunday. All right, I've been following this guy. His name is Eli Mistal, and he's always on Charlemagne the God. And he is a doctor. He teaches, I want to say it's Georgetown University. But he is a anti-white person. is what he is. He's a racist. I'll just call it the way it is. And anybody that that dates out of the black race, he said they're not worthy of his time.
What?
He doesn't believe in black people, especially white women. That's the ones he really has a problem with. Like, RG3 doesn't like him. Doesn't like him because he's got a white wife. And when I start thinking about stuff like this, I go, this guy he's a racist. He is
100%.
no better
100%.
than Billy Bob that was running the Ku Klux Klan back in the day in Mississippi.
Bird.
He looks like Fat Albert. He's got a big old gray fro. So you probably have seen him before. Listen to what he had to say about white people.
This election has proven, that this administration has proven painfully in some ways, is that black people cannot save this country from white folks. We can't do it alone, right? If white folks aren't going to join in, if white women aren't going to join in, if Latinos aren't going to join in, we can't do it alone.
Let me just say this much. I don't believe that white people built this country. I don't believe that black people built this country. I don't think that Hispanic people built this country. I think everybody together, and that's what makes America so great.
Right.
Is that it's a combined effort to build this country and rebuild this country. It's a combined effort. So when I see people like this POS, I just go, psh. And this is a guy that's teaching students. That's probably worse. That's probably way worse.
Yeah.
A lot worse.
He's
Byron
influencing
Donalds.
the minds of much.
Yeah, the mushy mind. We're going to talk about Byron Donalds coming up next. He's saying the auto pen scandal is going to be probably bigger than any scandal ever. Iran-Contra, Watergate. He said it's going to be the biggest. We'll get to that in a second. Monica and the text, our number 877-396-W105. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Main Trailer Sales, serving Southeast New Mexico with the largest inventory of new and pre-owned RVs. If you're hearing us, get in touch with Main Trailer Sales. Look, they have the best deals in New Mexico. They give great customer service. They've been around for 70 years. All the big name brands, Cougar, Passport, Durango. Yeah, they've got fifth wheels, toy haulers, and ultralights. And if you just happen to be working in the oil and gas industry and you're getting paid a per diem and you're staying at a hotel, put that per diem check towards getting yourself a fifth wheel. Go to the website, take the virtual tour of all the units. They have new and pre-owned models. Go to maintrailersalesinc.com or call them at 575-622-1751. Monica in the text, it's already 6:37.
All right. Kathy said she gives good waitresses at least 33%. Bad waitresses get 15%. Cool Hanlon says I tip anywhere between 10 and 25%, depending on service. And that editor chick said, I don't have a set percent. I agree. We have a huge family with lots of kids. So if all of us are out, a minimum of 50. If it's just a few of us, it depends. I've tipped 100 on a $25 lunch for me and the husband. I just go with whatever I feel guided to leave. Amen. The editor chick said. Artesia Tom fan says, a good waiter, 50%. If I have a good day at the casino, $100, and I'm thankful that I have it. And I give extra at Sonic. They work hard. One place I do tip is at Sonic, only because that's where I came from. I started.
You know, I didn't know.
I just round up.
I didn't know that Sonic doesn't pay their, the people that carry your food out. I didn't know you were supposed to tip them. I didn't know this until I went to work. Became partners with a guy that owns 30 plus Sonics. God rest his soul now. But he said, you do not tip my staff? I didn't know I was supposed to. Well, you're just like the waiters. What's the matter with you? I never knew that. I'm serious. I did not know that.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I tip them now.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have to do a lot. Like as fast as as fast as they're working, like it all adds up. Like I mean, yeah. Sonic is a good place to work. Linda in Carlsbad said, depending on service, 15 to 20%. Subway or the like, $2 or $3. Bad service, 1 cent upside down. What? I tip totally according to the service. I have tipped $100 on a $20 meal, but I've also super glued a penny to the table. At least I know they had to work for that.
Damn.
Somebody fixed your takeout order and you should give them a tip of something, not just 2 cents. I mean, give them a couple of bucks. Somebody actually put your order together, put it together, and handed it to you.
If someone
with a
put
happy
your
face.
order together, yeah, the people in the kitchen, that's not who you're tipping for a wait staff.
Yeah, they're supposed to do that.
Yeah, I'm
them just handing it to you is no
if you're
different.
picking up.
Look, if you're picking up, that's really no different than going to a fast food restaurant and picking up your order.
Right.
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay, check out what Amarillo Redneck said. He said, no percentage. It's $2 per person at the table.
Was that Tom?
Add or subtract depending on service received. So you mean to tell me that if I don't know. I could dive into that, but I kind of don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, look, those folks don't make a whole bunch of money, per hour. So I'm gonna treat them, and I always think back. My brother put himself through school being a waiter, and then I know women, that's their jobs. That's single parents. That's all they do. So I like supporting single women. Mm-hmm. Always have.
Chuck Schumer is an ass bag. Chuck, in many ways, huh, Kevin? Chuck Schumer looks like one of the blue monkeys on The Wizard of Oz. And hey, B, what about the restaurants who automatically take a gratuity from your order? Do you still
Yeah,
tip?
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not and they'll sneak it in there.
Yes,
and if you're not looking at it, you're double tipping.
And you know who are the worst restaurants at adding gratuity? Freaking Mexican restaurants. Anybody want to agree with me? Oh yeah, there's a local one that adds it. Oh, I can't stand it. Like the waiter made out with like $50 from us, and it wasn't that.
Really?
Yeah, because of the gratuity, and we didn't see that it was already added. We thought our bill was just high, like everybody ordered a fancy dish, whatever. And he made like $35 off of us that night, and it wasn't because he provided amazing service.
I had a buddy of mine that was working, not here. Let me just say that he was part of the wait staff in Louisiana, and last time we were there, he told me, he said, if you're going to tip me, please give me cash, and don't put it on the ticket.
Yep.
He said, because a lot of times I don't get my money. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So no. I'm going to slip you money. And you know what? Living in the Philippines, the guys that bring the groceries out to the car, I tip them.
Yeah.
I tried to tip one of the boys at Albertsons one time, and he told me that they couldn't accept.
No,
tips.
a lot of places will not accept. They won't. They're told not to accept.
I'd be like,
All
I'd
right,
be
let me get to-
accepting it on the sneak.
Yeah, exactly. I'm throwing it in his pocket or something.
Right.
All right, let me get to Thought for the Day this morning, being brought to you by Wakefield Oil, 35 plus years serving Southeast New Mexico. Quality products, excellent service, dependable. Look, if you need oil and gas products, unleaded, diesel, DEF value, interstate batteries in the patch, they go on and off road. They deliver to you. Go to the website, wakefieldOil.com. Follow them on Facebook, or simply just give them a call, 575-622-4160. Need fuel and the patch, wakefieldOil.com. Thought for the day in memory of Mr. Wendell Wakefield. Thought for the day is, I don't know about you, but I've thought about running away more as an adult than I did as a kid. It's my thought for the day this morning. All right, Brian Urlacher. Lovington, New Mexico's own Brian Urlacher made his stance. Of course, he's a former Chicago Bear star, the Bears, made his stance known on the issue of transgender athletes and women's and girls' sports, as the debate creates a divide in the state of Illinois and could harm his reputation in Illinois. Urlacher shared his opinion on the issue during an interview on the Global Views podcast, and some people are very upset. Urlacher said, why is it even a debate? A woman is a woman, a man is a man. You're born with what you're born with. Urlacher even made reference to ongoing controversy in Minnesota, where a transgender pitcher is currently dominating softball in high school. Transgender athlete reportedly won 14 straight games heading into the playoffs, earned the first all-state honors, and it rocked the state of Minnesota.
Wow.
Urlacher said it's just different because we are men. There are certain things we do better than women.
Yep.
And it's just, number one, it's not fair. If I had a daughter who had to be forced to play against a man, I would not be okay with it. And I would be there raising hell about it.
Yep.
I just don't get it, he said. It's a common sense thing. I just don't see how you can push this, making somebody play ball against somebody from a different sex. Now, you have to remember,
he's right.
He is a Pro Bowl Hall of Famer. He became very controversial when he praised Donald Trump, signing the Keep Men Out of the Women's Sports Executive Order.
But he's right. I mean, because you think about the message that any school board is sending to their to the female students.
Right.
You will undress in front of boys when we tell you to.
Yeah.
You will compete against boys when we tell you to. You have no right to your own self and your own body.
Yeah. What about the girls' rights? So Brian Urlacher, if I'm not mistaken, does not live in Illinois anymore. He was just asked that on a podcast in Illinois. If I'm not mistaken, he lives in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I know he still has family that lives in Lovington. But, thank God we got somebody with a little common sense. Thank you, Lovington's Brian Urlacher. Thank you. Nebraska has banned soda and energy drinks from SNAP. Now, Texas was the first. Nebraska is the second to ban soda and energy drinks. There's a lot more that should be banned. Candy. A lot of stuff should be banned from buying with SNAP. It should be just food. That's it.
Yep.
Just food.
Yep.
That's it. Just food. And a Shiprock man has been charged with assault in connection with a shooting outside of Little Caesars in Shiprock. Terrell Tyler, 35, remains in custody as he awaits his trial. Investigators determined Tyler and the victim were arguing outside the Little Caesars, and paramedics responded after this man was shot. And they did recover the firearm, so he faces up to 10 years in prison. I don't know if they were arguing about Little Caesars Pizza or it just happened at Little Caesars.
Right.
I'm sure it wasn't about Little Caesars Pizza. Pizza. It looks like Byron Donalds talking about Biden's scandal, saying this scandal could go down to be probably the largest scandal in American history. Because with the auto pen, how do we know who was signing all these executive orders and bills? We do not know. Here's Byron Donalds and what he had to say yesterday.
Auto pen scandal is going to be the biggest scandal in American history, bigger than Watergate, bigger than Iran-Contra, bigger than anything else, because you had the deep state Democrat oligarchs running this country and not somebody who was quote unquote elected. You simply can't have it. That's not the way the United States of America is allowed to operate. And my number one question is, Kamala Harris, what did you know and when did you know it? Where have you been? What were you doing? Because it is the vice president's responsibility, as well as the cabinet, to alert the American people to an inability of the commander in chief to do his job.
And nobody said one word, not one word. And now you got people like Jake Tapper writing a book and saying, oh, no, I knew things were not right. Here's Jake Tapper talking about his book on CNN today.
The team around President Biden was hiding him and sequestering him, mainly starting in the fall of 2023, cannot be overstated. There's a cabinet meeting in October 2023, and then several cabinet members told us for the book they never saw him again in person for months and months and months. He was kept away from them. And cabinet secretaries we spoke to for the book told us it was weird. One of them did have a meeting with Biden in between that last cabinet meeting of 2023 in October and the debate, and described him as being disoriented and out of it. And I think that
the problem with this is Jake Tapper was asked about these things.
Mm-hmm.
And lied about it just as much as the cabinet lied about it.
Yep.
And when people brought up that, when's the last cabinet meeting that that Biden's had, everybody said, oh, no, they're still meeting. And then when Lloyd Austin went missing, he was in the hospital, and he didn't even tell his, who was in charge of the United States, somebody that was his boss, look, I'm having a major surgery, and I'm in charge of defense.
Right. Well,
he didn't say anything.
Jake Tapper is just another one of these liberals who will lie flat out to your face to try to push their agenda.
So listen to him in 2023, what he was talking about when it came to Hunter Biden. And then I'll play 2025.
There's no evidence to support the allegation my father was financially involved in my business because it did not happen. There's no fairness or decency in what these Republicans are doing. And I do have to say, whatever you think of Hunter Biden, and there's certainly a lot of people in this town, Democrats and Republicans, that do not think a lot of him, there is a certain kind of like cruelty to the campaign against him. Where is Hunter? Where is Hunter? Where is Hunter?
Oh, is there? Now, wait, let's flash back to this month. Listen to what Jake Tapper's now saying about Hunter Biden.
Hunter was driving the decision making for the family in a way that people, he was almost like a chief of staff of the family.
Does that strike you as pretty bizarre?
It's bizarre because I think he is provably, demonstrably unethical, sleazy, and prone to horrible decisions.
Oh.
I mean,
Tell me how you really feel.
well, I mean, I'm just look at the record. I mean, after his brother died, he cheated on his wife with his brother's widow and then got her addicted to crack. That's just one thing I could say. I mean, I don't have a lot of personal regard for him.
Yeah, but
wait a
the
minute.
problem
Wait a
with
minute.
this
He covered it up.
Yeah, he helped cover it up. And look, I'm with you. You know, there are millions of women in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you go find a woman that is not your brother's ex-wife.
Right.
I did not know that.
You know
about
what I
him.
mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
He's a sleazeball.
Yeah.
And Jake Tapper
just
should have right there said, well, you know, he did da. She asked him how he felt about the guy. And then he went into this long thing of what he did and da. So of course he should have immediately gone, you know what? He's a sleazeball.
Sure.
I should have said he was a sleazeball. He's always been a sleazeball. He probably will always be a sleazeball.
Yeah. Looks like Eric Swalwell had something to say. Democrats very upset about Representative McIver being arrested. We'll talk about that. Also, we'll get to Santa Fe teacher, principal, and school counselor all put on leave. And we've heard about this. Here's a story about a British woman going to jail for social media. I'll get to that coming up in just a second. 6:54. Price of oil this morning being brought to you by Spinnaker Cementing Solution, the division of CUD Energy Services. Spinnaker built to service the largest drilling programs. And look, they have a team of individuals that can go to your site and help with pretty much if you need cementing professionals, they've got you covered. They've got 25 cementing crews in New Mexico, Texas, and in Oklahoma. 200 experienced cementing professionals ready to go to work for you. Find them in Hobbs on Magnum Industrial Road, or just go to the website, spinnakeroil.com.
West Texas up 88 cents to 62.91. Brent crude is up 80 cents to 66.18. And natural gas is off about 4 cents at $3.39. And
5 minutes.
Kevin, before we get away from the Hunter Biden thing and Jake Tapper thing, if Jake Tapper is saying that Hunter Biden pretty much was chief of staff, was he the one running the auto pin who did his pardon?
Maybe.
Did he pardon himself?
Or his mama?
How much money did Hunter Biden make off a lot of deals that were going down? Let's think about Ukraine. How much money have we sent to Ukraine? $400 billion? How much of that money was kicked back to Hunter, if that's what Jake Tapper is saying? That's not what I'm saying.
No, and if Jake Tapper knew that, why is he not reporting it?
Well, and the bigger problem is if all these cabinet secretaries knew that was the case,
right?
They are just as guilty as Hunter Biden because they are duly sworn in to protect the American public. They took an oath.
Yep. But if he was the one that was running the show, as Jake Tapper basically said,
that's what Jake said. Yep,
was he the one that was doing the auto pin? Because
maybe.
the auto pin is what gave him his pardon.
That's right.
Yep.
Him or Jill makes sense. He's a mama's boy.
I'll take either one of those.
Well, that's not his real mother.
Yeah.
Oh.
His real mother died in a car accident.
Oh, okay.
6:56. Yeah, 6:56 morning show this morning being brought to you by A Custom Construction and Roofing. They are roofing and insurance specialists, licensed, bonded, and insured, veteran-owned and operated for 30 years by Dwayne Pennick. Look, they have an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. They offer free estimates. If you're still dealing with your insurance company and haven't had your roof repaired, let them go out and check it out for you. Call Dwayne Pennick this morning, 575-318-9725. Look, I mean, Dwayne Pennick, the day after the hailstorms, was out at Blake's. Or was it the same day? No, the day after.
It was that evening, yes.
That evening.
Yeah.
So he was out there checking it out, and now the roof is completed, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, Dwayne is local. He's honest. He's a veteran. Get in touch with Dwayne Pennick, A Custom Construction and Roofing, urging you to be very aware and beware of these unlicensed out-of-town contractors. That so-called warranty is not even worth the paper it's written on. Call Dwayne Pennick, 575-318-9725. Santa Fe teacher, principal, and school counselor all put on leave. They're on administrative leave for an internal investigation. School district says that Jay Trujillo, a teacher at Kearney Elementary School, was put on leave May 3rd. The principal, Jonathan Davis, and the counselor, Lee O'Shell, they were put on leave 3 days later. According to Santa Fe Police Department, a student told the principal that a faculty member had squeezed their arm and complained that it hurt. The responding officer did not see any visible signs of bruising, but did notify the school system, and the student parents were identified. No charges have been filed at this time. You know, when you put somebody on leave like that and no charges are filed, it makes them look very, very guilty. Right. It does.
Yeah.
So we'll see where this plays out. This is one kid, and now you've got 3 employees at that school that are all on leave at the present time. British woman. Look, this could happen in America. British woman serving harsh jail time for a racist social media post about immigrants. So, British daycare worker been sentenced to 31 months in prison for a racist tweet. On Monday, the appeals court dismissed her appeal. Her name is Lucy Conley, arguing that her sentence was fair. There is no arguable basis for the appeal, according to the appeals judge. By the way, Conley's husband, former British consular Raymond Conley, issued a statement afterwards slamming the court and pushing back the narrative that his wife is a racist. He went on to say, as a child minder, we took care of small children of African and Asian heritage. They love Lucy as she loved them. My wife was paid a very high price for making a mistake, and today the court has shown no mercy. Lucy got more jail time for one tweet than pedophiles and domestic abusers get. The system is broken, and everybody in the UK is scared to make comments about immigrants because of this. She went to jail for 31 days for a racist tweet.
Wow.
That is unbelievable.
31, not 31 days, 31 months.
What?
31 months. Did I say days?
Days.
31 months in jail. Months. 2.5 years in jail for a racist tweet. In the meantime, the pedophiles are loose.
Oh, my gosh.
And the reason she made the comment was a 12-year-old girl was killed by a Muslim, and that's the premise of what she made the comment about. It's not that she is a racist, because she was, a child care provider.
A Muslim killed someone, and because you pointed out they were Muslim.
Yeah, she's going to jail.
But the killer
months.
is free.
Well, the killer has been charged, but who knows? They're probably walking around. Yeah. God bless. 31 months in jail.
Unbelievable.
For a racist tweet. Now, did it hurt somebody's feelings? Probably. Did it hurt somebody physically? No.
It's not really racist. First of all, Muslim is a religion, not a race.
Right. Yeah. My God. And you know what? There are people that were running for political office that thought this was a great idea. You hurt their feelings.
They need to be.
Hurting somebody's feelings is not a jailable offense. Well, it shouldn't be.
No.
In my book. By God, I'd be doing triple life sentences.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, you can't control someone else's feelings.
Right.
No. Texas man executed last night after 13 years of brutally killing a beloved grandmother when he set her on fire at a gas station. Matthew Johnson, 49, was convicted of this heinous murder of Nancy Harris. She was 76 years old at the time. She was a gas station clerk, and he doused her with lighter fluid and lit her on fire in Garland, Texas in 2012. He was pronounced dead, God rest his soul, at 6:53 p.m. By the way, he did go on to apologize to his own wife and children and admitted his wrongdoing. How about apologizing to the people, the grandmother, and what about her grandkids and her kids?
Right.
I mean, I thank God you're apologizing to your family for being a D-bag, but by God, shouldn't you apologize to their family? I would think so. And a father paid a Honduran teen to be smuggled into the United States. Virginia resident Luis Alonso Diaz, 35 years old, charged with conspiracy to transport a immigrant. Federal prosecutors say that Diaz arranged and paid for the smuggling of a 17-year-old Honduran into the United States. Court records state that the Border Patrol agents apprehended the teen near Santa Teresa on May 3rd. She was unlawfully crossing the U.S. border. Investigators then reportedly revealed that Diaz had arranged and paid for the girl to be smuggled into the United States. The girl told DHS that she was supposed to go live with him and help him take care of his kids. Diaz remains in custody until his trial, and that trial date has not been set at this time. He was going to take care of his kids. Maybe take care of him, too. Who knows? God bless. We get some sick people in this world, don't we?
I agree.
We do.
Yeah, just crazy. All right, we're going to talk, still to come, we're going to talk about high school graduation requirements go into effect this fall in New Mexico. And Tommy Tuberville says that Nick Saban has the answer for college football. I'll get to that coming up. Also, we'll hear from Eric Swalwell, and Donald Trump answers about the McIvers arrest. We'll get to that. Marco Rubio, I tell you what, hits it out of the park yesterday.
Amen.
When he was questioned by Senator Van Hollen. We'll get to that in just a second. Morning show this morning being brought to you by State Representative Randy Pettigrew, reminding you that Governor Grisham continues to attack our way of life. That's why he stands up. He is a constitutional conservative and continues to fight for New Mexico. He's in District 61 and has a newsletter that comes out from time to time, especially if they are in session. You want to keep up with what's going on? You don't have to be in District 61 to get that newsletter. Want to keep up with what bills passed and what bills are out of committee and that type of stuff? Sign up for the newsletter at randallpettigrew.com. You can keep up with Randy Pettigrew on Facebook or go to that website, randallpettigrew.com. Message paid for by Randy Pettigrew. Monica and the text.
Did you guys see the POS Colorado governor signed a law making it a criminal offense to misgender someone? Says Steve.
Yeah. See, and doesn't that conflict with freedom of speech?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, remember when you were a kid, and I'm not saying this was right, because kids are mean and they make fun of everyone. But when you would call somebody something specifically because you knew it was the other way.
Of course.
And kids called other kids that. And you were called that. And everything.
God bless.
Well, now these kids can be held criminally liable for kid speak. I'm not saying it's right. And I know kids are mean. But come on now.
Pretty sad.
This one said all the pardons should be voided. Rocket said,
Amen.
Monica. Good morning, Rocket. How come nobody talks about Jill being Hunter's 12-year-old babysitter when Joe first noticed how beautiful she was?
Look, back in the day, you have to remember that she was Hunter and Bo's babysitter.
Yep.
She was much younger.
Mm-hmm.
And if I got it in my mind right, Joe waited at least until she graduated high school to start dating her. But he was already an adult. I mean, he had 2 teenage kids.
Right. Well,
wow.
And who said that Hunter and Jill never got together?
Oh,
Well, I mean, he was with the Bose.
That's what I'm saying. He has no morals at all.
No.
None. Zero.
And we know that Joe used to like taking showers with his daughter,
Right.
Ashley.
Right. I'm just saying.
By the way, it was in her diary. Anybody want to debate on that? It was in her diary.
Mm-hmm.
Her diary that she left at a mental hospital after going to the mental hospital. And the part about them showering together was right there.
wow.
And you wonder why he sniffed little girl's hair.
No joke, B. Look how the Europeans portrayed the Olympics, said this texter.
Yeah.
But I guess it didn't happen in the U.S., says another texter. Frankie Sachet Chate says that's treason, and by law, anyone involved should be punished to the letter of the law. Good morning, everybody. And Miss Simone. Cool Hanlon said, I haven't been to any of the Mexican bar brothel places in years, wink. The total would always be something in a nickel. It would be on a tray, and they knew you would never bother to pick it up. Linda in Carlsbad said, when my sister was a cocktail waitress, she had to split tips with the bartender, who had to split with the head bartender. Sometimes a customer would slip her a cash tip under the table.
Okay.
And Drew from Fort Stockton sent a, sent a ticket in from March 19th, 2025. For here, a burger, old-timer burger with cheese, $17.99. A large soda, fountain drink, $4.89. Total due, $30.20. For one person. A la máquina. Drew, did you tip on that?
No, the math is wrong.
What do you mean?
So on the burger on that it says $18, right?
Uh-huh.
And a soda is $4.89. So say 5.
Uh-huh.
So what is 18 and 5?
23.
Okay. Why does it say subtotal $27.87? Tax $2.33.
Lord Jesus, there's a fire right there.
No, they're adding. What it's saying is they
should have been $22.88.
They added $5.
$4.99.
Mm-hmm.
27. Look at me. You got me doing math already, Drew.
It's a hidden tip.
That's stupid.
That's why you should always check your bill.
Well, I just got mad for you, Drew. Is that really yours? I'd never go back. I had such terrible service once that I actually wrote some tips and tricks in the tip box. So they they literally got a tip.
Wear your seatbelt.
And come on, Kevin, we all know whatever happens in Europe will never happen here just because Texas just passed freedom of speech laws, the same as England. Doesn't
You
mean it's
say
on its
that.
way here.
You say that, but look at the people that the Bernie Sanders, the AOCs, and we've got a lot of stupid people in America. I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but it's the damn honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of stupid people. How many people voted for Kamala Harris?
A bunch.
She couldn't put 3 sentences together, and 70 million people voted for her.
Well,
so we say that it won't happen because of freedom of speech.
No, you every right that we have must be guarded, because as the Democrats have proven time and time again, there is no right that they will not immediately try to take away when given the power to do so.
With that being said, look at social media. What they did heading into the last election, they censored us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Joe Biden or somebody would send them messages. Take this post down. For a while there, I was spending more time in Facebook jail than I was spending out of Facebook jail.
Right. Mr. A said, I used to push carts at Sam's Club and we aren't supposed to accept tips, but I helped a mom with a baby load up her groceries one time, and a man walking by gave me $20 for helping out the woman. Aw.
Wow.
I I had a boss one time. He meant to tip $30, but instead he put $300. He got the best service after that. I
Wow.
bet.
Man, next time you go there, they're going to be like, that's the guy.
I want that table. I want that table.
And then when he doesn't tip that, they're going to be like, what was wrong with that guy?
Kevin, I too enjoyed tipping single moms. Shout out to my girls, Cherry and Moonlight at PT's Centerfold in Lubbock.
Cinnamon is pretty awesome, too.
What's PT's?
I don't know, but those are dancer names.
Cherry and Moonlight.
It's supposed to be funny. Mom.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. But I what's PT's?
I don't know. A
PT
club?
means physical therapy.
A club?
To me.
It's probably a club.
I mean, Cinnamon is, yeah, she's been single and she's got 5 kids from 6 baby daddies.
I'm sure. All different colors, too.
They were just putting themselves through school.
I've done this before. I tip my waiter through Cash App if it's available, and Chinese restaurants are the worst at adding gratuity. The Mexican restaurants be adding gratuity. David in Artesia
I
said
think they all do it.
the $2 a person tipper probably gets a lot of spit in his food if he's a repeat customer at restaurants.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing that. If somebody works, I am going to.
Yeah.
I am going to pay.
Amen.
Yeah, and because I know those individuals are not making that much money and just trying to get by. So I applaud.
Right.
I have a soft spot in my heart for anybody that works.
Right.
I tell this to my wife all the time. Men and women that are out there working and working hard. I see people, that are farming, and I'm not talking about with a big old tractor. I'm talking about with a hoe and a pick. And women out there doing that type of work, I'm like, man, I applaud anybody that gets up every day and puts a pair of boots. I want to say boots. Some of them ain't got no boots. But I applaud anybody that works.
Amen.
Plumbers, electricians, welders, anybody that gets up and goes to work every day, I applaud. That's what this country was built on.
Amen.
People that got up every day and went and worked. God bless. Thank God that we got people willing to work. We need more of them, that's for sure.
I agree. You want a few more, Kevin?
But give me 2 more because it's already 16 after 7.
Okay. When they automatically add the 15%, I think, well, you saved me some money. I always tip cash also. That editor chick said, yeah, always tip cash. A lot of places have tip sharing, and it's done through the cards. Last one, Tom's Turkey Neck said, I tried tipping a guy at Walmart for a pickup order. He did say he couldn't accept it, but he could pick it up off of the ground. So I put it in the bed of my truck for him. Aw, that was sweet. And we're good.
All right, still to come, we're going to get you updated with news. KWMW Mount Jamara, 105.1 FM, KWES, 93.5 Ruidoso, KDAZ AM, 700 FM, 96.9 in Albuquerque. Quick look at the weather, 91, it's sunny today. We're going to be close to 100 by the weekend in southeast New Mexico. Lincoln County and Ruidoso, 79 and sunny today. You guys will be in the 80s by Saturday. And in Albuquerque today, 87 and sunny. And, Saturday, you're going to be about 89 in Albuquerque. 5-day forecast, go to W105radio.com. Quick look at the weather being brought to you by Atlas Makeup Mirror and Grooming Tool. Time 1 times 5 times 10 magnification with LED lights. If you haven't checked it out yet, go to atlasmakeupmirror.com. With the likes of folks like Reba McEntire and the Mandrell sisters and Linda Davis and others that love the Atlas Makeup Mirror, you ought to go check it out. And look, they're still offering 25% off until the end of the month. Graduates, this would be a perfect gift for your graduates. And don't forget, they still have the pocket mirrors for $29.99 and the larger pocket mirror for $39.99. Call Rebecca Long. She's a local inventor, 575-631-3189, or just go to the website, use the promo code W105. Save 25% off at atlasmakeupmirror.com. Taking a break. We're coming back. It's already 7:19. We're beyond the Breakfast Club.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, at around 6:30 a.m. on Sunday, 28-year-old Kevin Pinion Ballin of Seminole, Texas, was driving northbound on FM 866 and disregarded the stop sign at the intersection of State Highway 302. A semi was traveling eastbound on State Highway 302 and hit Pinion Ballin, killing him. The driver of the semi had minor injuries. And the New Mexico Forestry Division has enacted fire restrictions on non-municipal, non-federal, and non-tribal lands in Catron, Chavez, Cibola, Debaca, Doña Ana, Eddy, Grant, Hidalgo, Lee, Lincoln, Luna, Otero, Roosevelt, Sierra, Socorro, Torrance, and Valencia counties. They will remain in effect until rescinded. Restrictions include smoking, fireworks use, campfires, prescribed burning or open burning, and flaring of gas related to oil and gas production. Some exemptions may be allowed in specific cases. And Dementia Awareness Week runs through Sunday. Dementia is an umbrella term used to characterize conditions related to the deterioration of major brain functions, most notably memory, language, and cognition. While dementia is most often associated with Alzheimer's disease, there are actually 5 unique types of dementia that may impact memory and cognition, with other diseases that are linked to dementia. A study ranked New Mexico at number 18 when it comes to dementia impact. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, an estimated 6.7 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's or other dementia, and that number is expected to swell to 13.8 million by 2060. Dementia is the 7th leading cause of death in America, and family caregivers of people with dementia are more likely to experience depression, anxiety, and poor quality of life compared to caregivers of people with other conditions. According to the National Library of Medicine, 58% of family caregivers report extreme stress, 47% less sleep, and 43% feel isolated. Go to seniorly.com for more information. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
Get ready to ignite your senses. Smoking on the Plaza is back and hotter than ever in Lovington, New Mexico. Join the fun Friday, May 30th, starting at 4 p.m. and Saturday, May 31st at noon. It's a weekend packed with mouth-watering food, unique vendors, and electrifying live music. Friday's lineup features the Wicked West Band, Liquid Gypsy, and Pecos and the Rooftop. Saturday keeps the beat with Conjunto Bengala, followed by A.B. Quintanilla and Cumbia All-Stars. And that's not all. Experience the thrill of mechanical bull riding, glide at the skating rink, or unleash your creativity in the splatter room. This free event is Lovington Main Street's annual fundraising extravaganza. Plus, the IBCA-sanctioned cook-off is still accepting participants. Your chance to compete at Nationals awaits. Don't miss this sizzling celebration in the heart of downtown Lovington. Visit SmokingOnThePlaza.com for more info or enter your team. That's SmokingOnThePlaza.com.
In New Mexico, our roots run deep. And for more than a century, Chevron has been here with you, helping fuel our shared culture by supporting local events like the New Mexico State Fair and youth education through our partnership with ABQ Biopark, all to keep our home thriving for generations to come. Visit chevron.com/New Mexico.
In need of a tow? Those don't have to be dirty words. At Lee County Roadside, they have been offering friendly and knowledgeable service for 20 years. From light to heavy duty, there's nothing they can't tow. And with 24-hour availability, there's no time they can't tow it. Don't make a bad day worse by choosing the wrong tow company. Lee County Roadside, the good guys to call in a bad situation. For 24-hour service, call 575-392-3223 or locate them at 7401 North Del Paso, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like Lee County Roadside on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Soundwave Saturdays is bringing the heat at Zia Park Casino. Bring your lawn chairs, your family, and your friends. All ages are welcome, free of charge. On April 26th, the fun kicks off with Wild Rumors, delivering music by Fleetwood Mac. On May 3rd, catch the Selena Tribute, 512. On May 24th, enjoy the Broken Hearts, honoring Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Then on June 7th, dance away with Latin Loba, a Shakira tribute. This summer is going to be packed with music and unforgettable nights. Must be 21, play responsibly. Call the New Mexico Gambling Crisis Hotline at 1-800-572-1142.
Hey, man, turn that down. Where's my keys?
Hey, what's the rush?
I'm headed to the JC to sign up for some classes.
What's the hurry? We barely graduated.
I heard classes are filling up.
So what, you're gonna be a scientist or something?
Man, I could be a welder, police officer, barber, or maybe even a nurse. They make bank.
Yeah, right.
They even have audio and video classes for you.
Really? Hold up. Let me get my keys and I'll drive.
Just roll on out to New Mexico Junior College and register at nmjc.edu today.
Imagine a world where teams wore plain, uninspired uniforms. Functional? Sure. Eye-catching? Hardly. But as times evolved, so did the demand for standout styles. Enter the era of awesome graphics. Located at 523 West Sanger in Hobbs, New Mexico, they revolutionized team and work attire. Their secret? High-quality FR uniforms from renowned brands like Ariat, Lapco, Byrne, and Bulwark, paired with cutting-edge technology for vibrant, multicolored logos. Awesome Graphics bridges the gap, offering both sports and industrial uniforms that don't just fit well, they inspire. From Nike office shirts to Adidas and Oakley designs, they ensure every team and staff look as professional as they perform. They're not just about appearances at Awesome Graphics, they're about empowering teams. So if you're in Southeast New Mexico and need uniforms that speak volumes, the choice is clear. Visit myawesomegraphics.com and discover how they can elevate your team's image. Awesome Graphics, where style meets performance.
Be in the Breakfast Club powered by Permian Ford, home of the lifetime Permian powertrain promise. That means your engine and transmission performs for the life that you own the vehicle or it's covered.
You know, a lot of people think that the word douchebag is a male term.
Good day, sunshine.
Call now, 877-396-W105.
There are some people that say, we love Trump's policy, but we don't like Trump. All I want to do is save our country.
This is not headline news. Jordan Hudson says she's engaged to Bill Belichick. Her engagement ring is 24-karat gold digger. Starbucks sales are down, mostly because they're losing customers to the Starbucks next to them. Mass-produced flying cars will hit the market next year. Tom Cruise may do Mission Impossible 9 just so he can hang off of one. Conan O'Brien will be a voice in Toy Story 5. He'll play a kid whose toys are stolen by another kid who will be voiced by Jay Leno. And U.S. News named Johns Creek, Georgia, the best place to live. The study cites its walkability, access to health care, and the fact that it's not Detroit. This is not headline news.
Alrighty, 726. We are beyond the Breakfast Club. New survey finds that almost 7 out of 10 companies are now using AI at work, which would kind of explain why I've just been informed that I'm being replaced by somebody named Siri.
What are you talking
Monica?
about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Alexa has got your job. Sorry. Survey found that AI is mostly being used for administrative tasks such as scheduling and calendar management and crunching data and stuff like that. Sending emails and reports and all of that type of stuff.
So when you're denied time off to use your vacation days, they won't feel bad about it.
No, AI is going to be answering your emails. Yep.
The robot
new study
revolution.
Yeah, and by the way, the CEO is sleeping with the robot AI director. It's not good. Not good. New study finds that hospitals' superbug can feed on medical plastics. What? New study finds that hospital superbug can feed on medical plastics.
Okay.
The bug somehow has more microplastics than the average human. I don't get about the micro bug.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I should have pre-read that. And New Orleans prison maintenance worker accused of helping the 10 inmates escape. So one person has been arrested for helping them. Yeah, escape.
The janitor, custodian, maintenance worker, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, by the way, unlike the players for the Saints, this guy is no saint. 7 of 10 inmates They have captured 5. So 5 out of 10 inmates have been arrested. I would be looking at Bourbon Street. They believe that they're still in the general vicinity, that they didn't go that far. Because, I mean, the further you get out, I mean, who are you going to call? I mean,
Right.
people usually stay pretty close when they escape. General Hospital star Steve Burton married TV chef Michael Lundstrom at a private ceremony. I have no idea who either one of those are. Jason Kelsey has lost 25 pounds since retiring from the NFL. You will find a lot of those linemen all of a sudden start losing weight.
Yep.
Because they don't have to be that big once they retire. And Conan O'Brien will play a new character on the 5th Toy Story film. He's going to be called Smarty Pants.
Okay.
He kind of does look like a character on a cartoon, though.
He does.
I'm not the first to have said that. All right, new graduation standards are going into effect this fall. So New Mexico leaders now know the best way to get more kids to graduate is
Lower
to
the
get
standards.
more of them to go to school every day.
Nah, just
which
lower the
means
standards.
That,
Just
well,
lower.
that too.
If you show
Yeah,
up, you
giving-
graduate.
Yeah, well, and that's part of it is showing up. State lawmakers are hoping to do just that with a new modernized set of high school graduation requirements focused on teaching kids the skill of thriving in the real world. And part of that is showing up. Some of the graduation requirements are not a one-size-fit-all approach. And when they say that, well, it's not a one-size-fit-all. I mean, what's good for my kid might not be good for your kid. I always think, no, you should have the same rules for everybody. Everybody should have the same rules. But there is a change. Students are going to require 24 total credits, including 4 English, 4 maths, although Algebra 2 will no longer be a requirement to graduate.
Oh, my God.
So Algebra 2 is gone.
Dumb kids, more and more
But-
dumb kids.
It doesn't say anything about foreign language. And I'll be the first to say, does foreign language actually help anybody?
Yes.
I mean, but my daughter,
Yes.
my daughter took 3 years of Spanish. Can't speak a lick of Spanish.
Oh wow.
Well, that just
She can
because
order at a
took-
Mexican restaurant.
She took it doesn't mean she kept it up, but it does help in the learning process, learning
maybe.
languages. And you know,
I mean,
the way to make our kids better is not to keep expecting less and less of them.
I agree.
Yeah.
The way to make our kids
I-
better is to set the bar higher and let them try for it.
Wait, the bar higher? Well, I mean,
Yes, if you have kids and you give one a very low goal, of low expectations, and you give another group very high expectations, those kids will rise to that challenge and meet those
No,
high
they're supposed to.
expectations.
Yeah,
And the
I
low
agree.
bar, they may or may not. They may
Yeah.
get so complacent they won't even meet the low bar.
maybe. Yeah. Senator Tommy Tuberville, former football coach at Auburn and at Texas Tech, won a national championship at Auburn, says that Trump and Coach Saban have the right game plan for college football. So the former coach, he coached for 40 years, knows a little bit about college football, said that he has witnessed firsthand the transition of power in college football and how it's shaping young people's lives, from the locker room to the classrooms to discipline to all of this. And he said, NIL, things are tail spinning right now. So he said that, the likes of Coach Saban, said Nick Saban has a plan and that he's actually discussed with Donald Trump. So I am hoping that in the near future, we can get NIL under control. There has to be, and now that we got revenue sharing coming also, there has to be a salary cap. I mean, you got a salary cap in the NFL. Why wouldn't you have a salary cap for college teams? And I'll say it again, because if you don't have a salary cap, there'll be a handful of schools that continuously win.
You're right.
Yep.
And Texas will be, if you're a Longhorn fan, University of Texas got a lot of money.
Yep.
A lot of money. If you are a Mizzou fan, not so much. Sorry, Blake. Texas A&M also
They
a
don't have that
lot
much
of money.
Look, Mizzou, we don't really have that much money.
I mean, Alabama's got some money, and Georgia's got some money. Ohio State.
Mizzou, yeah, we have sports teams, and we're happy if they ever make the top 20 in anything. And we always expect them to, but we're okay if they don't.
You know, when I read that LSU spent $45 million on NIL this season, I'm going, what?
Yeah.
And there are good kids.
Yeah.
One of LSU's kids, Harold Perkins, turned down $7 million deal with Tennessee to go back to LSU. $7 million. Can you imagine turning down $7 million?
As a college kid? No.
As a college kid. Yeah. So something needs to be done. A man who crashed into a Albuquerque public school bus asked the court for a reduced sentence. The man convicted of ramming the Albuquerque school bus 3 years ago is trying to get his sentence reduced. Mario Perez pled no contest to 5 counts of reckless driving for going more than 100 miles an hour through a neighborhood and crashing into the bus. By the way, several students were hurt. No reduced sentence. By the way, he was sentenced to only 4 years behind bars in February, and he wants that reduced? No, thank you. No, thank you. And the naysayers talking about Jalen Hurts, why didn't Jalen Hurts go to the White House with the Eagles? Why didn't he go? Oh, he was standing up against Trump, right?
I have no idea.
He says no, it wasn't that he was standing up against Trump. Scheduling conflicts is what he said.
Oh, whatever.
That's what he's saying.
You know, what scheduling conflict did you have that would keep you from going to meet the president of the United States?
I would say the same thing.
I mean, maybe a birth of a child, maybe you're getting married,
a graduation, or maybe his kid had something, or his wife.
Yeah, I mean, but other than that, no.
Who knows? Trump and Hegseth announced that the Golden Dome, a game changer to protect the American homeland, is coming. That's part of the big, beautiful bill. What's the price tag on this? $175 billion.
Yes.
Is that all?
$175 billion.
That's all
overall.
How much did we send to the
that's
Ukraine?
That's not like all, we have to pay it all at one time. That's over several years.
No, but
overall,
my point is, how much did we send to the Ukraine? We could have done this.
No, you're right. $400 billion.
Yeah, we could have done this for half of what we sent.
And you know what? And you can say what you want, but the Golden Dome is going to become more and more important over the years when countries are hating us. The time is going to come when the UN says enough of America telling us what to do. So there's going to be a breakaway, I believe, from the UN at some point. It might not happen under Trump. Maybe it will happen under Trump. But we've got enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can protect ourselves for...
And all of that should scare any Bible believer that believes in prophecy and the end times. Because if you
agree.
are a Bible believer and you believe in the end times, you will note that America does not play a role.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
We're not in
all
it.
right, we're going to get
So what does that
to
tell you?
the text line coming up next, Monica. We'll also hear about a female track star was defiant and got up on the first place podium after a race. Whataburger is being sued by a man, and the remains found in the Santa Fe National Forest identified as somebody from the 1950s. We'll talk about that. Angelina Jolie is very upset with America.
Oh my God.
Very, very upset. And
she needs to eat a vegetable.
And
a cookie.
some of our legislators are upset that Representative MacGyver has been arrested. We'll get to that. And Donald Trump answers them coming up in just a second. Morning show this morning being brought to you by La Tienda in Carlsbad. Try the taco bar, and don't forget about the made-from-scratch tortillas. But some of the specials for Memorial Day, get the meat department specials. The leg quarters, 49 cents a pound. Boneless beef brisket, $3.48 a pound. Also, spare ribs are $1.77 a pound. Boston butt pork roast, $1.29 a pound. And don't forget, in the produce department, new crop, the sweet fancy corn, 5 ears are just $1. Seedless watermelons are $5.99 each. They're very sweet. And get the jalapeno peppers for 99 cents a pound. Cantaloupes are $1.99 a pound. And check out the Food Club sodas, 12-pack. Get all flavors, and you can get 3 12-packs for just $12. And Lay's potato chips, regular price for Lay's, $4.99 a bag. Get 2 for just $5. And don't forget about the hamburger and hot dog buns. Get 2 Food Club packs of hamburger buns or hot dog buns for just $3 at La Tienda in Carlsbad. 20 minutes away from 8, Monica in the text.
John from Eunice says, guys, just get ready for the left to start moaning, groaning, and complaining about the Golden Dome. If it's good for America, they'll be against it. If Trump initiated it, they'll be against it. The only thing they'll like about it is that it's spending lots of money, but it won't be them that are spending it. We sent more money to the Ukraine in the first year than we spent in the first 10 years in the war against Afghanistan. And don't be hating on Jalen Hurt. That's my quarterback Super Bowl champion, baby. He's a busy man. I'm gonna bring the Tommy buzzer back out and say,
No.
That's not a good enough reason
No.
to be busy, to not go see Trump.
Man, I tell you what, and I'm just saying, it could be Joe Biden, Barack Obama, but if
Anybody.
somebody invited me to the White
Absolutely.
House, I'm going to the White House.
Exactly, whether I love him or didn't agree with him at all.
I'm going.
Yeah, for $7 million, I would say to hell with LSU. And this texter said the LSU football team had a program record cumulative GPA of 3.059 for the fall semester in 2024, according to LSU Athletics.
Huh.
The University of Texas football team achieved a program record of 3.31 GPA during the spring 2025 semester.
That's a Horns fan.
Our requirements
Oh
are
boy,
not
that's
the
a
same.
big difference, isn't it?
Isn't
Holy
it?
cow.
Not much.
Sean in Carlsbad
Still
said,
a B.
Hey, Monica,
Still a B.
maybe. And Smokey in Arizona said, if I were those prisoners that escaped jail, I would be long gone from there. I'd be trying to go to Alaska or Mexico or some other country. Now, I liked what one reporter talked about, or I guess, I don't know, was it the mayor or somebody, whoever of St. Louis? They were interviewing her, or New Orleans on Fox and Friends this morning. And she was talking about how those kids, most of them that had escaped, they were there for Hurricane Katrina. She said, so they don't really have anybody or anywhere to go. Like, they've been kind of suffering for a long time. So,
Well, a lot of people, yeah.
Yes.
And that was the Attorney General of
Okay.
Louisiana, because the mayor of New Orleans is a socialist puke.
right, and won't go on. And yeah. So she, and I thought, how sad. Like, they escaped, but honestly, they have nowhere to go.
That's
Like-
actually a good thing. Hopefully they can
Yep.
catch them all.
Yep.
Did y'all see that Norm
I would
Peterson?
be on the run.
Right? I would have pieced out. I'd probably be hiding in jail somewhere. No, I'm just playing. Did y'all see that Norm? Who's gonna come look for me in jail?
They'd be like, there she is.
Yeah, I know. Or Eunice. I'd go to Monument. No, I'm just playing.
There she is.
Did y'all see that Norm Peterson from Cheers passed away?
Yeah, we
Yes.
talked about
Yeah, bless his heart.
And Johnny Full of Hate says that Hillbilly's house in Loco Hills is on fire.
Oh.
Huh?
Is that like a famous spot, Johnny?
It's a trailer, it looked like.
I just got back
Wow.
from Cancun, and a lot of places had a minimum of 25% on the tip. A la
Wow. In
máquina.
Cancun?
Wow.
The mayor
Damn.
of Greenfield says, can someone say apples and oranges? Apples and oranges. Mike from Edgewood, the Socialist Party, a.k.a. Democrats' rights policy, rights for me, but not for thee, says Mike from.
Yep.
Justin says, why Monument? I don't know. I feel like that would be the perfect hiding spot. Like, nobody's
Yeah, but where are you going to stay?
They all know each other.
in like a little bunker or something.
They would say, who's this strange girl that moved into a
No,
bunker?
I've got some friends
Call
out
the
there.
police.
That's not one of my cousins.
Call the police.
I'd be like, listen, I need somewhere to stay for a little bit, at least 2 weeks. Let me get a game
I mean,
plan
you'd be
going on.
better off. No, you'd be better off in Jow. You were right the first
Yeah.
time because there's a lot of new people in Jow.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you
true.
would be better off in Jow than Monument.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, you
after
would.
that, I'd hitch a ride with like I'd go,
you'd
hitchhike.
become-
One of them truckers.
Next,
gonna
I
get
go to
real lucky.
Andrews. So,
Listen,
all right, let me get
Are
to
you
this.
saying you'd become a lot
story.
lizard?
I would become just for one trucker though. I'd pick one lucky trucker, and
Can
I'd
you
go.
take me to California?
I'd be like, listen,
Oh, my
you just
God.
keep me going all over the.
They-
I've got a game plan.
I'm sure they made a movie
I am
about
so
that.
serious. No, like I.
Well, you remember the movie about the lady that killed the truck drivers?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
pick
yeah.
her up. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a true story.
They ain't gonna
actually.
catch me.
She'd kill them all.
Ain't nobody gonna catch
Oh
me.
my gosh. They
All
all
right,
say that.
looks like a female track athlete in California who lost the first place to a boy identifying as a girl has won the praise of many people because she stood on the podium in the first place, defiant of the rules, allowing trans athletes to compete. She stood on that podium. Reese Hogan, 16 years old, placed second in the triple jump at
No,
the
she
California.
won. The girls.
No, she won. Yeah, I agree. But when it came time for the photo op, she got on the number one.
Good for her.
Yeah, she got on number one, and she was very defiant. I thought Donald Trump signed an executive order. It's time to put the money where the mouth is.
Yep.
Time to cut out all funding.
Again,
for all of this.
In this case, in California, whoever's in charge of that, what they're saying to little girls is, you will undress in front of boys if we tell you to.
Nah.
You will compete against
Yeah.
boys if we tell you to. And
I
you
always-
will do
I always
whatever we
love
say.
when they say the rights of that individual. What about the rights of all the girls?
Right.
You have trampled all over their rights.
So
pretty sad.
So you're doing away with female rights to give a confused boy something special.
Where are the women's rights, folks?
Right,
You
because
guys
this
are-
is anti-women.
You have killed the movement.
It is anti-women. Because that's not
Texas
a woman.
Man, yeah, exactly. Texas man suing Whataburger after he requested no onions on his meal and got onions anyway, according to the court filing.
Give me a break.
Yeah, the lawsuit filed last month in Demery
Prove it.
Demery Wilson in Texas. And Harris County documents claim that Wilson visited the Whataburger on July 24, 2024, ordered the fast food meal without onions, according to a copy
Prove
of
that they
the
gave you
filing
onions.
that was seen on Fox News. However, Wilson claims that the order did contain onions, and he's very allergic to the onions, had an allergic reaction, and had to seek medical care.
If you're allergic to onions, you're not double checking to make sure they're not on there?
He ate them, Blake.
Well, then
Whataburger
then what
denied
kind of idiot is
Wilson's.
he?
Yeah, they
Prove it.
denied. Whataburger denied the allegations and a separate court filing,
Good for them.
and demanding strict proof
Right.
of his claims.
Amen.
Of course, representative for the San Antonio, Texas-based food chain, would not give any comment about the pending litigation, but he
I agree. Prove
did
it.
not want onions. They put onions on his.
But they didn't. He said they did.
And let me
I
ask
know
you
this story.
much.
I know this story. No. He sued like Sonic or something like that before for the onions on the burger.
Sonic
Who's
has the best
allergic to
burgers.
onions?
I love onions.
Amen.
I've never
can't
heard of
ever put enough
anybody
on for
being
me.
allergic to onions.
Well, and let me tell you,
Peanut butter,
at
yes.
Whataburger, if you would have told me it was McDonald's, I would have said maybe. But at Whataburger and some of those other places like that kind of specialize in making it however you want it.
At Whataburger, don't they chop those onions up? They're not like
Yes.
one big piece. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're minced.
Wow.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, they're diced,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You
but
know, you've
no,
got
I
to
don't.
be pretty pathetic to do all that.
Well, I mean, but think, I mean, most of these companies are going to pay you off. You're
Well,
going to walk away
but
with some cash.
I think I don't know if you've thrown that story away yet or not, but I think that he sued. I think it was Sonic.
It doesn't
somebody
say
else.
anything about that he sued anybody before.
I do
but,
remember that case because I saw it yesterday evening.
Yeah, he has said that he will not take anything less than $1 million.
Yeah, he's one of these guys that says I'm going to try and go after these big companies.
Habitual
He's like
sewer.
Giselle on
Yeah.
Friday, slipping
Yeah,
and falling
he's
on
a
purpose.
habitual sewer.
Yep.
Remains found in Santa Fe National Forest identified as a 1950s wrestler actor. So the set of remains that were found 24 years ago in Santa Fe National Forest have been identified as a wrestler actor from the 1950s. DNA lab in Texas made the identification. This guy's name was Keeble Woodford and known as Chemo Maha. And investigators believe that he traveled to Colorado to Albuquerque in 1992 for a business meeting and was never seen again.
Wow.
Angelina Jolie is very upset, very angry, and very sick over Donald Trump's cuts to U.S. aid.
All 35 pounds of it.
She's sick and angry. She made her comments during a press availability as she arrived at a gala and the Cannes Film Festivals. Thank you so much, Angelina. By the way, your dad voted for Donald Trump. Isn't her dad John Boyd?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, who is a huge supporter of Donald Trump. Yeah. Take that, Angelina.
Take that, girl.
All right, Eric Swalwell talking about Representative MacGyver being arrested. He's not happy that a member of the Democratic Party was arrested. Listen to what he had to say. Eric Swalwell.
Can't trust them, so we have to do our oversight duties, and she was in the right to go and do that. And I promise you, there's going to be more unnoticed visits by my colleagues where they show up, and they better be let in.
Let me ask you this much. What the hell does that mean, unnoticed? Or, I mean, they're going like they're invisible, like Casper the Ghost, unnoticed? What does that mean, unnoticed?
If only that were true. They go in pushing and shoving.
Maybe the word should be that they will not have an appointment and then they will go and, they won't let anybody know in advance.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump had this to say about the arrest.
With the arrest of a congresswoman, Democratic congresswoman.
Oh, give me a break. Did you see her? She was out of control. Those days are over. The days of woke, no, I didn't. The days of woke are over. That woman, I have no idea who she is. That woman was out of control. She was shoving federal agents. She was out of control. The days of that crap are over in this country. We're going to have law and order.
Mr. President.
Give me a break. The days of that crap are done. All right, I wanted to get to Rubio and Van Hollen. So Marco Rubio was on Capitol Hill yesterday, and one of the people that, Van Hollen, Representative Van Hollen, if you don't remember that name, that's the guy that went to El Salvador and had margaritas with, the the Garcia clown. And he told Marco Rubio, I am sad that I voted to approve you. And Marco Rubio replied, well, I must be doing something right then.
Yep.
If you're not happy with me, I must be doing something right. But here's part of what happened yesterday. Marco Rubio buries Van Hollen.
Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come,
Mr.
you're
Chairman,
going to see who you went to
look,
defend.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Secretary
Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated
Senator,
comments like that.
Secretary Rubio has the floor. You
Secretary
had your time.
Rubio should take that testimony to the federal court in the
Senator?
United States because he hasn't done it under oath.
Here's another point, okay? There is a division in our government between the federal branch and the judicial branch. No judge in the judicial branch cannot tell me or the president how to conduct foreign policy. No judge can tell me how I have to outreach to a foreign partner or what I need to say to them. And if I do reach to that foreign partner and talk to them, I have under no obligation to share that with the judiciary branch. Just like a judge cannot order me to negotiate with a foreign minister of Russia, they cannot order me to negotiate with a foreign minister or the president of El Salvador. And if I did negotiate with them, which we have responded to them, and we've told them, we've had communications with the president of El Salvador, I am under no obligation under our division of powers in this country and to share with the judicial branch how I conducted diplomacy of the
Marco Rubio just slapped him around.
Yes, he did.
That was great.
That was.
That was great. And then he went on to talk about the open borders. Here's Marco Rubio continues.
Our immigration policy should be based on the national interest of the United States, period. End of story. If there is a subset of people that are easier to vet, who we have a better understanding of who they are and what they're going to do when they come here, they're going to receive preference, no doubt about it. There are a lot of sad stories around the world, millions and millions of people around the world. It's heartbreaking. We cannot assume millions and millions of people around the world. No country can. So you have to have a process of deciding who do you prioritize, who do you allow in. We do it all the time. We do it in our immigration system now under our current laws. Unfortunately, it's primarily based on family connection and not on what they're going to contribute to the society from a merit standpoint. That should be changed, but that'll require statutory changes. But the bottom line is this notion that somehow we have to accept anyone who wants to come to the United States is absurd. No country in the world has an immigration policy like that.
We ought to inherit the immigration policy of Japan. And their policy is very simple. If we need a doctor, we're going to look for the best doctor. If we need an engineer, we're going to look for the best engineer. We need a nurse, we're going to look for the best nurse. It's going to fit our needs, not the needs of every person wanting to come to America. We need a welder. We're going to look for the best welder, whatever the case is. We just can't willy-nilly accept everybody. That's just not sustainable. All right, take it out the trash. We're going to get to that up next. Monica and the text on the way. It's already 7:57. We're Beyond the Breakfast Club. Morning show this morning being brought to you by North Star Laundry. One-stop shop for all of your laundry. Drop off your clothes. They can wash, dry, and fold them. They can dry clean them, press them, starch them. Drop them off, pick them up at a later date, and they'll all be ready to go. They can take care of everything. And look, if you want to wash, dry, and fold your own clothes, they have coin-operated machines at all 3 of their locations. Find them 609 West Lee in Carlsbad, 604 West Church in Carlsbad, and 406 West Cedar in Loving. North Star Laundry, check them out today. Monica in the text.
What do you guys think about ivermectin for cancer? Asks a texter.
I would have to study more. I don't know if that's something you can choose for or not.
I've never heard that ivermectin would be used for cancer, but
It might
hey.
be, but, you know, I have
What
to look
about
into it.
what about the no tax on overtime, Adam from Artesia? I would say just to continue to be patient.
Well, I mean, it's part of the big beautiful bill. So you know, I would send a message to your legislatures. It's sad that every one of our legislators are on the Democratic side, and they ain't no chance in hell. I don't know why they wouldn't vote on something that included no tax on tips and no tax on overtime.
Right. Okay.
Oh, wait, their constituents are people that don't work. Oh, okay, I got it. It's
Well,
okay.
and the ones who do, they don't really care.
Yeah,
Right.
You're right.
And going all the way back to when you guys were talking about the flares, it's about an hour and a half late, but I am going to get to all of y'all's texts, I promise. Chief says, is that flaring only on state leases?
No, we went over that.
Okay. Germ says, I think the only way around the flares would be to use the gas on natural gas generators.
Maybe.
And send the power back to the grid. Well, maybe.
Mm.
When oil field stops in New Mexico, Albuquerque and Santa Fe, lush spots dry up and all the under-the-table money dries up. All the big Democrats will leave our state, and that will be a good day, but a sad day for production. And this person said, texting, well, I mean, tipping, it depends on the service. If my coffee cup stays full, then the tip will be really, really good. I've worked in the food industry most of my adult life, and I never tip. I just work more. Okay. Tip is based on their performance. If I got to wait for a drink, the tip is no more, says Mario B. from Lovington. This texter says, I normally tip 30%. Frank in the Patch says,
Wow.
though out of the USA, their freedom has been stripped away. That's why lawsuits against Facebook, Twitter, and other media companies are being targeted in the same manner we are in the USA because we're free, because of the brave. Frank in the Patch says, Juicy's #1 fan says, I don't hate any race, religion, or life choices. I've met nice people in all aspects. I just don't care for bad people or anyone pushing their beliefs on me. If I want information, I'll seek it myself. A to the men. We all have to remember that the Biden administration was working on a deal with European countries to uphold warrants issued by those countries for hate speech, where American citizens would be arrested and transferred to their court systems. Jimmy Burnside says that house that's on fire is the big old White House west of Local Hills across from the picnic area. It had all the junk around it.
Right, okay.
B from Roswell says, what? The house with all the trash is on fire? And Justin says, we do know each other in this town. So, Justin, you are from Monument. I take it I can't go.
Yeah,
You gotta
probably
go to
not gonna
jail.
make it.
I can't
Gotta
go.
go.
I've gotta
Hey,
go.
Monica, I got a accident. This coming from the office of Eddy County Office of Emergency. East and westbound traffic on Highway 82 near mile marker 130 in Local Hills will be restricted to one lane as a structure fire, the fire we're talking about. Multiple structure fires at this time. Please avoid that area or plan for delays on Highway 82 near mile marker 130. Traffic update being brought to you by Luke Ragsdale Law Firm. Finish them up.
Are Monica's true colors coming out? Hitch a ride on one of those driverless trucks hauling sand. Listen, I don't plan on doing anything that would land me in a jail, but if I ever did, I'd run until they caught me. And I've got 28,000 plans in my mind. God bless the people that lost their house in Loco Hills, says get off of Tom's rear. Kevin, I got news for you. I'm allergic to onions, says a security bouncer.
Are you? Wow,
This
I've
texter-
never heard of onions, man. You would be not able to eat any of my food because I am told that I cook with way too many onions.
Yep.
And you're right, B. He is a habitual sewer, says Uncle Mike. I guess the guy with the onions. Yep. My daughter is allergic to onions. She breaks out and she can't breathe if she has them. And this texter said, I thought the same thing. What real gang member drinks a margarita? Exactly. Those gangsters should be like taking shots.
Straight up gangster
doing
right there.
líneas. Do you know what I mean? Those are the kind.
That's straight up gangster.
Yeah.
It was Eileen Vernon's. I don't know what they're referring to though.
Eileen Vernon.
And Justin says, "Yes, I'm from Monument." All right then, Justin. I ain't gonna run in your direction.
No, she'll go to Tatum instead.
I'll go to.
She'll
Hey,
be in
I know
Tatum.
exactly where the
Closer.
hideout in Tatum.
She's done it before.
She'll go right to
If
Tatum.
it's banned, could the heads of these organizations be arrested for letting the boys compete?
I would hope
Man,
so.
it's just sad. It's just a sad story. We even have to discuss this. I mean, it's just stupid. It really is. All right, let me do Take It Out Trash. We're going to get to things that happened on this date in history. Taking Out Trash being brought to you by Trash Eaters, 575-408-1719. Call Kayleen or go to the website, trash-eaters.com. They can pick up all of your trash. Look, they do residential trash pickup. They have the 96-gallon poly cart. They do commercial trash pickup. They have the 2- and 4-yard metal dumpsters, and they have the roll-off containers. If you're working on location and you need a big old roll-off container, call Kayleen, 575-408-1719. Trash Eaters, owned and operated locally, and veteran-owned and operated. Well, we're going to stay pretty close to home for taking out trash. Albuquerque City Council approved yesterday a program to give out gas cards to Albuquerque police officers. So the Albuquerque City Council approved the resolution, helped some of the officers gas up their cruisers more easily with a pilot program to give out gas cards to Albuquerque Police Department, assigned in the northwest or southwest part of Albuquerque. Those gas cards then will be used at any gas station. This bill is sponsored by Luis Sanchez. Not that that is a bad idea, but the question that leads me to a whole nother deal. That's why I'm taking out the trash. Nobody ever thought about this before. So if they were all the way on one side of Albuquerque, they would have to drive all the way to the main complex to fill up. That could be an hour of drive time to fill up a car.
Wow.
Kind of makes you wonder why Albuquerque is in the condition they're in. Thank you, Consular Luis Sanchez, for thinking outside the box. Thank you. So they agreed last night to do just that. Thank you. Nobody ever thought about that. Let's just give them some gas cards. Oh, that makes so much sense. Take It Out Trash being brought to you by Trash Eaters. All right, Blake, we're going to get to things that happened on this date in history. James Carville, Trump administration, charging MacGyver. Here's what James Carville had to say. The reason the Trump administration's charging LaMonica MacGyver is because of her race. He was on MSNBC. I've heard a lot about James Carville in the last several weeks. All of a sudden, James, I mean, are you running for some office? Because, man, you're making your appearance a whole bunch as of late. And why would Donald Trump and his administration care about the color of this woman? Once you go back and look at the tape and watch her shoving and pushing police officers.
Right.
It all comes. I hate when people play the race game, especially when the evidence is there and it's in black and white.
Yep.
Oh, sorry to use those two colors. Wow. What's the matter with you people? James Carville, stop it. And one more story before we get to things that happened on this date in history. Looks like AOC is the face of the Democratic Party. That's what a lot of people are saying.
She's
but
certainly not
according
the
to a brand
brains.
new poll, I don't know if she's the face of the Democratic Party.
She might be, but she's
Only
not the brains.
26% of identified Democrats think that she would make a great president. Who do they believe would make a great president at this point?
Oh my gosh.
Stalin, Lenin, Hitler.
And, you know, everybody else, folks like Kamala Harris, she only got 6%.
Oh.
Pete Buttigieg, he got 5%. Joaquin Jeffries, he's got 5%. Cory Booker, Mr. I'll talk all night and all day, 4%. Gavin Newsom came in with a 2%. So Democrat voters, by the way, don't know who the hell to vote for.
That's because
according to the recent poll, 55% of Democrats go,
anyone but Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You got it. All right, when we return, we'll hear from the mayor of Chicago. Are they looking to maybe file charges against him for his hiring practices? We'll talk about that. 2 people arrested for having a lot of cocaine in Midland, Texas. And Biden, when was his last prostate screening? You're not going to believe this. And Nancy Mace showed nude photos of herself during a hearing. Kinda. It was AI, but
and it was
still
silhouette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're calling them nudes. We'll get to that coming up in just a second. And yeah, I was getting ready to go check them out, but I couldn't. They're not on the internet.
You searched.
Monica?
No.
He searched. Diligently.
Diligently.
That was funny.
He was trying to. He was doing the best job that he could in digging
I
for
was
that
trying
story.
to find. I was doing research for the show. Okay.
I'm sure you
I
were.
was. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Homegrown and proud of it. Farm and ranch supplies. If you're living on a farm or ranch, they've got everything. Hardware store inside their store. They have trailers, tank, tack. They've got fencing material, feed for all of your animals, Western wear, working wear. Whatever you're looking for, they've got it. Go to the website, roswelllivestock.com, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, also in Capitan at the Lincoln County Mercantile. It's 10 minutes after 8. Monica, anything on the text before we get to things that happened on this date in history?
AOC is the reason we have instructions on the shampoo bottles.
Amen.
But if the patrol car was filled up before the shift, why would they need to get gas? Are they driving 300 miles a day? Says the dude from
Depends on where they
Lovington.
are.
They don't know because they have not been told who to like.
Spot on.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know who to vote for because they haven't been told and led like sheep.
And this one says, look into the book Finding Fenbendazole for treating cancer, especially prostate cancer with ivermectin. Christy
really?
says, hola, homies. Hey, girl. Most folks allergic to onions are also allergic to garlic and leeks.
Yep.
The Allium
Man,
family are a
I feel
semi-common
sorry for you
allergy.
guys.
Me too. I don't know what I would do without
Man,
garlic
I mean,
or
I
onions.
love me like when I cook like a stew or a gumbo, I use 3 big onions, and I caramelize them. By the time the gumbo or the stew is finished, you can't even see an onion in there.
Right.
Sean in Carlsbad said, Monica, my grandbaby loves onions, and then sent a picture.
Adorable.
Super adorable. The girl is just digging into
Like an apple.
An onion, eating it like an apple. Uh-huh. I like to cut it up fresh like that and dip it into ranch, but not the kind of ranch that comes like in a bottle, like the one that you make with your own sour cream, like in the powder packet.
Oh, gotcha.
That one's so good. There's a difference.
Like there's so much difference between bottled dressings and ones that you would mix at
and
home.
good dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Patricia says, if I eat onions, I throw them back up. Patricia.
Mm. Wow, that's bad.
All right. That's it for the
All
text.
right, let's get to things that happened on this date in history. KWMW Maljamara 105.1 FM, 93.5. KWES Ruidoso and KDAZ AM 700 FM 96.9 in Albuquerque. Things that happened on this date in history being brought to you by 2atacticalrange.com, or stop by and see their location in Hobbs. 2A Tactical Firearms and Indoor Firing Range. Veteran-owned and operated, the largest firearms dealer around. State-of-the-art indoor firing range with the Milo FBI training simulator. You know, that's what most of the law enforcement use. That's the way they train. You want to train like the law enforcement folks? You can at 2A Tactical Firearms in the indoor firing range. They offer monthly membership, and the hourly rates are available. They have a huge selection of guns. In fact, the largest selection of guns. They offer financing for guns. They have ammo, optics, suppressors, safes, tactical gears, and grunt-style clothing. Financing available. Check them out today. Go online to 2atacticalrange.com. R236 East Navajo in Hobbs. 2A Tactical Firearms Indoor Firing Range. Proud sponsor of things that happen on this date in history.
And you'll appreciate how I'm reading this here when we get down to what today is. On this day in 1840, New Zealand was declared a British colony, or I should say the way I'm not doing it. In 1881, the American Red Cross was launched by Clara Barton. Yeah, she nursed that organization to quite a successful story. On this day in 1908, the very first horror film, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, premiered in Chicago. And in 1919, a proposed federal amendment to give women the right to vote passed the House of Representatives 304 to 89. Most of the ones that voted against it, Democrat. On this day in 1927, Charles Lindbergh landed the Spirit of St. Louis near Paris in France, completing the first solo airplane flight across the Atlantic. Somehow his luggage still ended up in Pittsburgh. And in 1948, President Truman proposed statehood for Alaska. It would take another 11 years before that actually happened. And on this date in 1956, the U.S. detonated the very first airborne hydrogen bomb over Bikini Atoll in the Pacific. Now, what did that bikini ever do to them? And in 1990, one of the most memorable series finales ever aired on CBS and has given some spinoff to a few things. At the end of Newhart, you remember this, Kevin? Bob woke up and revealed to the wife from his previous show, the Bob Newhart Show, the entire series was a dream.
Just a dream.
And and they've made fun of that ever since then. It's a classic. I mean, it's a great ending. And in 1994, Marion Barry announced that he would run for mayor of Washington, D.C. just 3 years after serving a jail sentence for possessing and smoking crack.
What?
Who got the crack?
And if that wasn't
Hunter's
strange
my
enough,
friend.
he won.
Hunter is
I
my
was gonna
friend.
say, he won, didn't he?
By the way, they did smoke crack together. He admitted that.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Talk like Yoda, you will today. It is Talk Like Yoda Day. National Memo Day, National Strawberries and Cream Day, National Wait Staff Day, Tea Day, and American Red Cross Founders Day. 2 days until Memorial Day weekend. We're waiting for our barbecue invites here still. And it is 25 days to Father's Day.
Can't wait to celebrate Father's Day.
Hannah Einbinder, I hope I'm saying that right. She is 30 today, and she plays Lorraine Newman's daughter and star of Hacks.
Okay.
So you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, Cody Johnson is 38 today.
That's Texas.
That's Texas, home of George Strait, the king. Ain't no such thing as chili with beans. That's Texas, hot as a flat top griddle. Ain't got a fiddle, that's Texas.
There you go.
I could keep on.
Hey, did you guys?
He was on the American Idol finale.
Yeah, he was.
And
Oh, wait. He was also at Boots in the Park in Albuquerque, and I heard that it was a bust, y'all.
I heard they got him dirt cheap.
Dirt
Wow.
cheap. I can't. If anybody out there went to Boots in the Park.
Yeah,
No. Dirt cheap
I
is one
wanna
of his songs, Monica.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he had a song named Dirt Cheap. Yeah, I know. I get it. Blake, you can't do that to me when I'm trying to be focused and say something. Bye.
Gautier is 45 today.
Gautier.
Yeah, I had no idea who this was.
Gautier.
Looks like a couple weirdos to me.
Oh, yeah. That song is
Walter
never going to go away.
Andre Wally DeBacker is his real name.
Is his real name. Yeah, I would have changed it to Gautier, too.
Havoc, the rapper, turns 51 today.
Sorry, I couldn't find a clean version.
No, I know. I heard his cousin Mayhem is a spokesperson for Allstate.
Uh-huh, yeah, he sure is.
Judge Reinhold. Judge Reinhold, the actor, turned 68 today. Of course, Beverly Hills Cop, Fast Times Ridgemont High, the Santa Claus, and another one of these. I got two people on here today that were good friends of my dog, Tug. They hung out with him at various Comic-Cons. Lawrence Tarot, otherwise known as
Mr. T.
Thank you, turned 73 today.
Dang, he's still alive.
Pity the fool.
He likes it.
My older brother was a big fan of Mr. T.
These days, he prefers his tea with honey, fool.
Don't mess with my Medicare.
Former SNL cast member turned failed, I'm going to say, U.S. Senator and super far left person from Minnesota. And what is it with Minnesota? Al Franken turned 74 today.
Bye.
Yeah. Just look in the mirror and give him your thing.
I think his middle name is Not Funny.
Yeah.
Al Franken.
If somebody else didn't write his jokes, he does not have a funny bone.
I agree. I agree.
Singer Leo Sayer turns 77 today.
By the way, they're expecting by 80 his things start to drop a little bit. By 80.
Yeah, his voice was so high he could open garage doors. Ron Isley hits 84 today.
One of my favorite all-time bands and guitarist.
Of course, he did serve 37 months in prison for tax evasion.
Ron Isley?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was like, who's that taxes?
Folks no longer with us who would have had birthdays today. The notorious B.I.G. would have been 53.
Girls used to diss me. Now they write letters because they miss me.
All right. That's about all I can do. I'm scared they're going to drop something.
That's the clean version.
You can't play music like that and not expect
It says clean, but sometimes you can't trust them.
Right. Richard Hatch, who left us in 2017. He was the original Apollo on Battlestar Galactica. That's the other person who was a friend of my dog from various Comic-Cons. And I don't know who, there are some fans of this person, but Jeffrey Dahmer left us in 1994, thankfully. You know who he was?
Somebody please clean out his fridge.
I hope somebody shared Jesus with him before he died, because if not, dude's just burning.
Is he?
So, I mean, did he eat all the body? I mean, would he?
Dog.
With fava beans.
Sick dog.
Wow.
There was so many things messed up about him, but he followed. There's some things you can track serial killer things, and he tracked all. He hit every one of those.
Every one of them.
And so, cannibalism goes past that, but he started out with animal abuse. So if you know somebody that's mean to animals and kicks animals and that kind of thing,
they're probably
you need to watch out for them.
Individual.
Yeah. And that's what happened on this day in history, Kevin.
All right, looks like breaking news this morning. Virginia Democratic Representative Jerry Conley is dead, 75 years old. The congressman's family announced his peaceful passing at his home. You probably remember he said he was not going to run for re-election and said he had esophagus cancer and would not he was going to step back from his roles in Congress, and he did. 6 months, and he has officially passed away late last night. Jerry Conley, congressman from Virginia. All right, we got a lot of things to get to. We got a lot of things still to talk about this morning. We got to do our national anthem and our pledge. Let me give you a quick check of the weather this morning, being brought to you by La Tienda in Pecos, Texas. They're right there on Eddy Street in Pecos. Big Memorial Day specials going on right now. Meat department, fryer leg quarters, 49 cents a pound. Boneless beef brisket, $3.48 a pound. Spare ribs are $1.77 a pound. Boston butt pork roast, $1.29 a pound. And produce department, get the fancy corn, sweet fancy corn, 5 ears for $1. Also get the sweet seedless watermelons for $5.99 each. Jalapenos are 99 cents a pound. Cantaloupes are $1.99 a pound. And Food Club 12-pack of sodas. All the flavors, you can pick and choose. You get 3 12-packs for $12. Lay's potato chips are regularly $4.99 a bag. Get 2 bags for $5. And don't forget hamburger and hot dog buns. They've got the Food Club hamburger and hot dog buns. Get 2 packs for just $3. Get it all today at La Tienda in Pecos. Quick check of the weather today. Looking pretty good across southeast New Mexico. Wind will not be a factor. In fact, they say less than 5-mile-an-hour winds. 91 for the high today in southeast New Mexico. 79 and sunny for Ruidoso in Lincoln County. And in Albuquerque, 87 and sunny throughout the day. 5-day forecast, go to W105radio.com. National Anthem and the Pledge at 8:24. Being brought to you by Rebecca Long. She's your Farmers agent. Has been for 40-plus years. Farmers Insurance. Started her business with farmers at the age of 19. And she can take care of all of your insurance. Bundle it together, save you money. Home, auto, life insurance, recreational insurance, commercial insurance. She can take care of it all. She can serve the entire state of New Mexico. Call her this morning. 575-393-2661. 393-2661. It's Rebecca Long. Give her a call today. Your Farmer's agent. And proud sponsor of the National Anthem and the Pledge.
We are the Dominguez family from Hobbs, New Mexico.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
827, large prayer this morning being brought to you by Judah Oil, reminding you God is in complete control.
Psalms 34:19 is our verse of the day. It says, "The righteous person faces many troubles, but the Lord comes to the rescue each time."
This is Ashley with Judah Oil, and I ask that you join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who've trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
827. We'll hear from Donald Trump coming up in just a bit. He'll be talking about the alternative to the big, beautiful bill. We'll talk about that. Tax rate could go up substantially. We'll get to that cut. Right now, news this morning being brought to you by Ragsdale Law Firm, reminding you when an accident happens, it usually comes when you least expect it. And when it does, you need a lawyer that you can really trust, somebody that's going to fight for you. That's the Ragsdale Law Firm, specializing in car accidents, personal injury, medical malpractice, and oil-fill accidents. Based in Roswell, serving the entire state, they offer free consultation, and you never pay until you win your case. Call Luke Ragsdale, 575-208-5300, ragsdalelawfirm.com. 8:28. We'll be back in just a second. We're Beyond the Breakfast Club.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The House Rules Committee has been working since 1 a.m. at the Capitol on the Republicans' big tax and spending cut bill. Virginia Republican Morgan Griffith heard President Trump's in-person pitch yesterday and tells Fox,
I think he did change a few votes, but not all of them. And so we're still working, the Speaker is still working behind the scenes to get all the votes lined up.
The Congressional Budget Office says the bill, without changes, adds $3.8 trillion to the debt through 2034. The Justice Department's opened an investigation into former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Cuomo is being investigated for statements he made to lawmakers who were looking into his management of the COVID-19 pandemic while the virus was spreading through nursing homes. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer, a Republican, recommended that Cuomo, a Democrat, be charged with lying in his referral to the Justice Department.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers in New York, where Cuomo's running for mayor. America's listening to Fox News.
What could possibly live out here is a question you've probably either asked yourself or heard from someone else. The answers are all waiting for you at the Living Desert Zoo and Garden State Park in Carlsbad. Located at the top of the Ocotillo Hills, the Living Desert will take you through a variety of habitats, from the sand hills to the arroyo, from the Pinon Juniper Zone, and through the canyonlands along the 1.3-mile self-guided tour. Features like the nocturnal exhibit, a walk through the park, including the aviary and reptile exhibit, will give you a glimpse into the hundreds of species of plants and animals adapted to the arid climate of the Chihuahuan Desert. In addition, the Succulents of the World greenhouse exhibits highly adapted plants from many parts of the world. Don't forget your souvenirs from the Visitors Center at the Living Desert Zoo and Garden State Park in Carlsbad. Open every day except Christmas Day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., with last entrance being at 3:30. Visit livingdesertnm.org or call 575-887-5516 for more information. Paid for by City of Carlsbad Lodgers Tax.
This is Rhonda Romack of Destiny Real Estate, where our business is built on dreams and imagination. Right now, the Lincoln County real estate market has more buyers than sellers. What does that mean? It means that the local market of inventory of houses and ranches is low, but we have plenty of buyers ready and willing to purchase properties. So if you've been considering putting something on the market, it's a good time to get top dollar for your investment. Telephone my team of seasoned professionals at 575-257-3000. That's Rhonda Romack of Destiny Real Estate, online at rudoso-nm.com.
As a single mom, it means a lot to me to have a strong banking relationship. With the cost of living as it is, I have to make the most of every dollar I make.
Every member has different wants and needs. That's the basis of relationship-based personal service. A strong credit union is built on strong relationships. Estacado Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a number, you're a member. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's markdown madness all week at Bob's Ridgeway. With top sirloin steak, $6.99 a pound. Sirloin cut pork chops, $1.49 a pound. Extra large grapes, $1.99 a pound. And get your Hot House bell peppers, just 99 cents each. Hot Pockets, 12 count, just $12.98. And Kellogg's giant size cereals, only $4.98. Get your Food Club split top wheat bread, just $1.88 a loaf. Food Club peanut butter, 2 big 16-ounce jars for $3, and get your Kraft macaroni and cheese, 5 boxes for $5. And that's just a few of more than 150 big markdown madness values this week at Bob's Ridgeway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington, where your grocery dollar always goes farther.
If you need an aggressive, experienced personal injury attorney who is honest and true, you need to get the Gorilla.
So I'm 23 years old. I worked at a warehouse, and I took an injury which caused the amputation of my right leg. I was approached by a specific firm, and they turned my case down within 5 minutes. I was told to come visit the Gorilla Law Firm, and immediately they saw potential in my case. And I tell you what, Gorilla Law Firm had my back when no one else did. The Gorilla Law Firm made me a multi-millionaire. And if you're injured, You call the Gorilla Law Firm too.
The Gorilla Law Firm, 3130 North Grimes and Hobbs, or call 575-964-2720.
Memorial Day sale now at National Furniture Liquidators. Huge markdowns throughout the entire store, plus great financing options regardless of your credit. A memory foam queen mattress with adjustable base, just $6.99. A stylish 5-piece queen bedroom, just $7.88 plus free chest. Buy any sofa, get the matching love seat free. Huge 7-piece counter height dining set, just $9.99. Memorial Day savings now at National Furniture Liquidators. When it comes to value, quality, and selection,
nobody beats Shorty.
Get ready to ignite your senses. Smoking on the Plaza is back and hotter than ever in Lovington, New Mexico. Join the fun Friday, May 30th, starting at 4 p.m. and Saturday, May 31st at noon. It's a weekend packed with mouth-watering food, unique vendors, and electrifying live music. Friday's lineup features the Wicked West Band, Liquid Gypsy, and Pecos and the Rooftop. Saturday keeps the beat with Conjunto Bengala, followed by A.B. Quintanilla and Cumbia All-Stars. And that's not all. Experience the thrill of mechanical bull riding, glide at the skating rink, or unleash your creativity in the splatter room. This free event is Lovington Main Street's annual fundraising extravaganza. Plus, the IBCA-sanctioned cook-off is still accepting participants. Your chance to compete at Nationals awaits. Don't miss this sizzling celebration in the heart of downtown Lovington. Visit SmokingOnThePlaza.com for more info or enter your team. That's SmokingOnThePlaza.com.
Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Permian Ford and PermianFord.com. Home of the lifetime Permian powertrain promise. Welcome to B in the Breakfast Club. Don't underestimate B. Oh, that's his wife's job.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Call or text now 877-396-W105 to talk to B and the Breakfast Club.
Now that is the savage son of a beast I know and love.
It's 2025, my brain is fried and now I'm old. Yeah, Kid Rock needs some love from somewhere. She is 38, comes from the Centennial State. Almost summertime, need to start a new flame.
Lauren Boebert.
Go into a dive bar, take her in my sports car, talked about some awesome things like guns and trucks. I really like Lauren Boebert, and man, she wears a real tight shirt, the kind of girl Kid Rock wants so bad. And she was trying different things, her hand was doing funny things. Lauren is a crazy gal, she's my favorite red. Likes live shows and we sit way back afterwards, smoke a whole pack, dating sweet Lauren Boebert all summer long. Dating sweet Lauren Boebert all summer long.
I don't blame him. I'm not hating on him. All right, I was just looking for this story. It came across my Fox Digital, but I can't find it on the site. Looks like another judge, federal judge, ordered Trump administration to track deported immigrants to South Sudan. The judge demanded the government maintain ability to return migrants if deportations are ruled unlawful. Federal judge ruled that Donald Trump's administration must maintain custody of the illegal immigrants deported to South Sudan in case he rules that they have to come back. This is another district judge, Brian Murphy from Massachusetts.
No. No is the answer. No.
Murphy's ruling said the government must maintain custody and control of class members currently being removed to South Sudan and to other third world countries because they could have been removed unlawfully out of the country. Since when does a district judge get to make these rules? I would give them a no and a hell no, and I'll see you in court.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of you people.
Yep.
That's what I would say. I'm sick and damn tired of you people.
Sick and damn
And
tired.
also in immigration, I'm about done with you. I'm the president of the United States of America. Okay.
Sick and damn tired.
Federal judge slaps a hold on on a new Oklahoma immigration law. So here we go again. A federal judge in Oklahoma has 2 weeks, has put the law on hold for 2 weeks. State law forcing to criminalize illegal immigrants living in that state. Well,
Look,
it is a crime, right?
How can
ACLU filed that case.
Yeah.
We have lost our damn mind.
Yep.
We have lost our mind.
Yep.
Sad but true.
So
We've
here's
lost our
here's
mind.
the thing. Is the law unconstitutional? The answer is no. Then you shouldn't be able to put a stay on a law. It's a state law.
Agreed.
You know,
Now,
I
those things are
posted
put
up-
in place because to see if there's a question about it being unconstitutional. And there's
posted
never
up-
a question.
I agree. I posted up a couple weeks ago about the 14th Amendment and about non-citizens having babies. Do you think our forefathers meant, and do you think they meant that anybody that comes have a baby here, the baby's a citizen?
No.
So I was kind of surprised some of the answers by people. And some of the people were like, well, that's the way it's always been. Well, that doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean that's what because that's what we have to do.
And it's
what
not.
do you think our forefathers meant it to be?
That's not true. It's not the way it's always been. That's relatively recent that they've used it under this kind of thing.
So people, you have to look at the bigger picture. You have to look at, do you think this is what our forefathers meant this amendment to be? And it's not. It was for slaves. That's who it was for. Looks like a sheriff's deputy in North Carolina used a net to capture a small alligator found relaxing in a swimming pool. This sounds bad, but people with kids are telling the homeowner there are worse things they found in that pool before. That's what they said. I bet that keeps the neighborhood kids from sneaking in and going in that pool.
Right.
Alligator could come back. And doctors in the UK say that a woman, she's at risk of developing a rare spinal condition due to a yoga pose that she did years ago, which is why most Americans do not do yoga. Instead, they sit on the couch and eat Doritos instead, because that yoga pose could be some problems. This is a shame because women love the yoga pose. They do. And the yoga pants. Men love the yoga pants.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm not begging you to do yoga, but keep up with the yoga pants. I'm good with that. Bill Belichick, 73 years old. Jordan Hudson is 24. They are now engaged. He gave her the ring. Big old diamond ring. Nice. Nice. Very, very nice.
Good for her.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you know what? If it makes them happy, God bless.
Absolutely.
I mean, Bill Belichick's probably got another 10 years of, there is Cialis and Viagra now. Maybe, Bill Belichick has probably got another, I'll still stick with 10 years. But, God bless. God bless them both. Westminster Kennel Club is already working on next year's show, which will be the 150th. Can you believe that? 150th.
Yeah. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, and it'll start January 31st with agility and other canine sports, including the relay race style flyball tournament.
Okay,
that
so
was introduced last year.
Flyball has been a sport that's going on for a while. Last year was the first year that it's been at
First year,
Westminster.
yeah.
And the way that is, and you might have seen this, There's a course that has 4 low jumps, and that's determined by whatever the shortest dog in the group is.
Mm-hmm.
At the very end is it's a springboard, and they put a tennis ball on it. One dog runs down, grabs it, comes back. As soon as it crosses the line, coming back, the next dog in that group runs.
Sure.
And there's 2, and they compete against each other for time.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. Go check it out. It's called
Yeah,
Fly Ball.
my dogs would look at you like, and what we're supposed to do?
There's a lot of, obviously, it's dominated by a lot of the really fast breeds, border collies, et cetera. But there's a lot of mixed breeds in that as well.
Sure.
And so, and a lot of other agile dogs, fox terriers.
Yeah,
and
my
things like
dog
that.
is my dog would be like, don't you have a peeing competition? I mean, I can pee on stuff. I can lift my leg and pee on stuff fairly well. I mean, I can do that. I mean, if you want me to. 38 years after the first Lethal Weapon, both Danny Glover and Mel Gibson are going to reunite for the 5th movie in the franchise. Just for the record, Mel Gibson, 69. Danny Glover is 78 years old, and they're going to make a remake.
Oh, good.
Oh, my goodness.
Back on the force.
I mean, are they both broke? That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Maybe.
Before
Before you move on, I am taking this time. I've had someone on hold for a long time.
Oh, well, by God, we should have went through them a long time ago. Sorry that you've been on hold.
Right before the break, they went on hold.
Morning, how you doing? Where are you calling from this morning? It's got to be Frank, holding on that long.
Yeah.
Frank?
Actually, no. It's almost been 40 minutes, though.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Man, sorry about that. What's going on?
Well, I was going to say, did you do that story about those 7- and 9-year-olds doing a holdup against the police up in Albuquerque?
7 and 9-year-old.
Yeah, the 7 and 9.
Yeah, they were having a standoff. They were having a standoff
Yeah,
with the
standoff.
police.
Yeah, that was several weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and by the way, the police have been to that house. They said 50 plus times. Dad's in prison. Mom, God only knows what mom's doing. And I gotta wonder why Child Protective Service haven't taken those 2 kids out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I don't mind talking. I don't mind talking bad about Child Protective Services, but I don't like talking bad about the police.
Yeah, no, I'm not blaming it on the police. Look,
No.
the police go and make the calls, but I'm just wondering, the police, I'm sure, notifies Child Protective Services a number of times. Why something hasn't been done?
Because
I
it's
don't get it.
Albuquerque. Because they live by democratic
maybe so.
law.
Maybe so. You're 100% correct.
Are you calling from Albuquerque?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm sorry you had to hold so long. I appreciate you, though. Thank you. All right, when was the last time Joe Biden got a screen for prostate cancer?
10
when do you
years
think his last screening was?
Hace como 10 años.
The one that they're going to tell us about? Or
2014. His last screening for prostate cancer was 2014.
I don't believe that.
He was still vice president of the United States.
I don't believe that.
Well, and you know what they say,
if he's the president of the United States and has a full physical, they're going to do PSA.
Well, a lady on CNN said that he stopped getting it to save the American people money.
No.
I was like, what? That's included in, they draw your blood, they're going to do that test. Usually, if you're a male, that's part of,
yes.
When I go in, that's the barrage that they do.
Yes.
So I don't get it. But 2014 was the last time he had his
that they are
prostate.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the older you get, once you hit like 75, they usually, I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, DOJ to probe the Chicago mayor after he boasts that he likes to hire black people only. Talking about white people. They're not as generous as white people, as black folks. That's what he said. He was at the at Church of God, Apostolic Church of God, and he was speaking freely, talking about he hires blacks only because they're more generous than white folks.
Wow.
So that's why he's got a black budget director, black senior advisor, chief of operations, black man, planning and zoning, black woman, infrastructure deputy mayor, black woman. So I like hiring black people. Well, I'm glad you like hiring black people, but it's all that kind of sounds like discrimination to me. I could be wrong. Wow. All right, one more cut, and then we got to get to the boob so we stay decently on time. 8:48. Donald Trump talks about, not like we've done that in the last couple of weeks.
Right.
Donald Trump talks about unifying the party, and he talks about if this doesn't pass, what will the tax rate, revert back to? So listen to what he had to say yesterday.
The alternative is a 68% tax increase. And you can blame the Democrats for that and one or two grandstanders. We only have one or two, but we have tremendous support. But you'll have a 68% tax increase, or you'll get a massive tax decrease. You'll get a tax cut, the likes of which we've never had before. This is bigger than any Ronald Reagan tax cut. It's even bigger than the tax cut that I gave, because as you know, that's being extended and increased. So this is the biggest tax cut in the history of our country, or you'll get a 68% tax increase.
Now, usually Democrats like cutting taxes, but since it's Donald Trump saying he wants to cut taxes, they don't like it, and they won't vote for it. So, did you see that big drug bust that happened in Midland?
No, do tell.
They stopped. Cocaine. They now that was personal use only, right?
Sure.
Wow.
It was Hunter.
Sure. And I was looking to see if it said how much they had, but it doesn't say how much they had. Just said that they've been charged. It was more than, if it was personal use. So, wow. I didn't even know cocaine was still around. I thought it was a done thing, but evidently it's not. All right, Blake, let's get to things. Let's get to the boob of the day, being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine, anesthetics medical professionals on staff ready to help you. They offer functional medicine, natural supplements, and they offer stuff like stem cell therapy and ozone therapy. If you're living in pain, there are alternatives. So talk to Kelly today about that. And ladies, if you're going through menopause, hormonal issues, some of the signs could be your emotions have changed up a little bit. That's to say the least. Could be libido issues also. No drive for libido. Same as the guys when their testosterone is down. Let them do hormonal optimization on you. It all starts with the blood work. They'll figure it out from there. And guys, same for you. If you're going through testosterone replacement therapy, it begins with blood work. 3900 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs, 575-964-8025. Proud sponsor of the boob of the day.
You've probably heard the phrase, stick a fork in me, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this woman may have been old, but she was not done. 35-year-old woman in California named Christina Peniston is facing 3 felony counts related to domestic violence. This happened in March after she falsely imprisoned, threatened, and then attacked her elderly mother with a fork. Yes, it was an attempted forking. She didn't actually stab her mother. It's unclear what they were arguing about, but police say Christina was furious. She allegedly spat at her mother, shoved her into the sofa, brandished the fork, tried to stab her, but didn't. The mother was able to hold her off and wasn't forked. It's possible that drugs were involved. Christina is also facing charges from a previous unrelated arrest for being caught with an opium pipe. And
wow.
She's got a lot more problems now with all of these. So attempting to assault your mother with a fork, that alone will make you the boob of the day.
I would have told her to fark off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just me. Move of the day this morning being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. China is very upset, Blake. I don't know if you saw this story. I'll get to it next. They're upset about the Golden Dome missile defense project.
Yeah.
They are upset.
Well, of course
I'll
they are.
discuss that coming up next. Why would they be upset?
You can't defend yourself.
Oh, no. You can't take up all the space. You know, that's our job, damn it. So we'll get to that coming up next. Quick check of the weather this morning being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction. Trusted name across southeast New Mexico. Exceptional construction and siding services. They offer residential services, but they also do industrial and commercial metal buildings. If you have suffered from the hailstorms and need somebody to go out and completely redo your roof, or maybe you've got damages to your siding. They do siding, they do windows, they do doors, they do metal roofs and shingle roofs, seamless gutters. They do that, and of course, metal buildings too. Give them a call today, 575-391-1430. Seminole Siding and Construction.com. Monica, quickly to the text. We'll take a break in just 1 sec.
Your boob of the day, doesn't that make her a mother forker?
It does. That was one of the jokes I wanted to throw in there, but decided not to.
Jason from the Patch said if Donald Trump came out and said air is good for you, the Democrats would hold their breath. They sure would. And Jill said,
I wish he would.
That guy waited 40 minutes for a story we heard about 2 weeks ago. You know, in his defense, he probably just heard about it and thought it was recent or it had just happened. So it's okay. Is she a mother forker now?
She is.
She sure is.
No. She's an attempted mother forker.
Mother forker. I'm gonna get you. Justin says, hey, any info about the Houston mom who bought her kid body armor and lots of bullets in an AR?
Yeah, I mean, that was actually, wasn't that a San Antonio mom?
Yes, it was somewhere in Texas.
Yeah.
Young.
San
I saw the
Antonio.
picture of her. Super young mom. Probably.
Yeah, blue hair.
Mm-hmm. Just,
Yeah, same
super
one.
young.
Yeah. Yeah, she was arrested. That's about all I know about that story.
So are you saying that hair color can tell you things about people?
Well, maybe.
No, you know, and some people think that neck tattoos mean something. It really doesn't.
And this texter said,
I was thinking about getting a neck tattoo that said Mother Farker, but that's just me.
This texter said, hell yeah, Bill, I'm jealous. Jared Sanders said, those judges claim they have a backlist over a year. How does that case jump to the front of the line? And hey, Monica, Dr. Dobson of Focus on the Family did meet with Dahmer before he was executed. Well, I hope that he repented and received Jesus because this one says,
good luck.
That is how we knew my stepson had mental issues because he tested his skills out on one of our dogs before he tried them on his mother. Oh, gosh, that's so sad.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's a huge warning sign. Anyone who is cruel to animals, huge warning sign.
Spooning leads to forking, says this. You guys are having a heyday with that one. And this texter says...
I held back. I'm telling you.
This texter says, where's Tom? Sorry, I've missed some of the shows. Is he still sick? And how is Will doing these days?
Will's good. Tom is Tom is
Tom.
Yeah, Tom. But hopefully he'll be back soon. He needs to get a doctor's release. I don't know why he's sitting on the doctor's release, but it's very flat at this point.
He said he wants to go on Saturday.
Yeah. So we'll wait.
And last one. APD has their own fueling stations scattered around town. I don't know how many, so the cards may be a good idea, but they definitely don't have to go to a main place for fuel. For example, there is one next to the animal shelter on Lomas.
Oh, okay.
Albuquerque Texter, that's your new name, Albuquerque Texter.
I appreciate you. All right, we're going to talk about the Golden Dome, why China is upset. Former Texas A&M football star is dead, how he died. California man accused of a recent murder, let go from jail. You're not going to believe why they let him go. We'll talk about that coming up. And ICE captures the illegal immigrant wanted for allegedly killing a mother in a DUI crash. Minnesota let him out. ICE captured him, and he is going to be deported. Let's get you updated with news this morning, being brought to you by WWRV x3.com. You can call them at 988-0392. If you are looking for an affordable, quiet place to park your RV while working in or around Carlsbad, WWRV is the place. They have 3 RV parks. They've got 162 sites with 30 and 50 amps. It's a quiet place for working folks, and all your utilities included for one low price, and that includes your high-speed internet that is wired right to your hookup. They're pet-friendly, very well lit up, and you can't beat the price. Get all that information at WWRV x3.com or 988-0392. We're coming right back. We're Beyond the Breakfast Club.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, at around 6:30 a.m. on Sunday, 28-year-old Kevin Pinion Ballin of Seminole, Texas, was driving northbound on FM 866 and disregarded the stop sign at the intersection of State Highway 302. A semi was traveling eastbound on State Highway 302 and hit Pinion Ballin, killing him. The driver of the semi had minor injuries. And the New Mexico Forestry Division has enacted fire restrictions on non-municipal, non-federal, and non-tribal lands in Catron, Chavez, Cibola, Dabaca, Doña Ana, Eddy, Grant, Hidalgo, Lee, Lincoln, Luna, Otero, Roosevelt, Sierra, Socorro, Torrance, and Valencia counties. They will remain in effect until rescinded. Restrictions include smoking, fireworks use, campfires, prescribed burning or open burning, and flaring of gas related to oil and gas production. Some exemptions may be allowed in specific cases. And Dementia Awareness Week runs through Sunday. Dementia is an umbrella term used to characterize conditions related to the deterioration of major brain functions, most notably memory, language, and cognition. While dementia is most often associated with Alzheimer's disease, there are actually 5 unique types of dementia that may impact memory and cognition, with other diseases that are linked to dementia. A study ranked New Mexico at number 18 when it comes to dementia impact. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, an estimated 6.7 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's or other dementia, and that number is expected to swell to 13.8 million by 2060. Dementia is the 7th leading cause of death in America, and family caregivers of people with dementia are more likely to experience depression, anxiety, and poor quality of life compared to caregivers of people with other conditions. According to the National Library of Medicine, 58% of family caregivers report extreme stress, 47% less sleep, and 43% feel isolated. Go to seniorly.com for more information. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
It's markdown madness all week at Bob's Ridgeway. With top sirloin steak, $6.99 a pound. Sirloin cut pork chops, $1.49 a pound. Extra large grapes, $1.99 a pound. And get your Hot House bell peppers, just 99 cents each. Hot Pockets, 12 count, just $12.98. And Kellogg's giant size cereals, only $4.98. Get your Food Club split top wheat bread, just $1.88 a loaf. Food Club peanut butter, 2 big 16-ounce jars for $3, and get your Kraft macaroni and cheese, 5 boxes for $5. And that's just a few of more than 150 big markdown madness values this week at Bob's Ridgeway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington, where your grocery dollar always goes farther.
If you need an aggressive, experienced personal injury attorney who is honest and true, you need to get the Gorilla.
So I'm 23 years old. I worked at a warehouse, and I took an injury which caused the amputation of my right leg. I was approached by a specific firm, and they turned my case down within 5 minutes. I was told to come visit the Gorilla Law Firm, and immediately they saw potential in my case. And I tell you what, Gorilla Law Firm had my back when no one else did. The Gorilla Law Firm made me a multi-millionaire. And if you're injured, you call the Gorilla Law Firm too.
The Gorilla Law Firm, 3130 North Grimes and Hobbs, or call 575-964-2720.
At Coffee Drilling LLC, they offer a wide range of drilling services, from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells, as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling, LLC. Over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice.
See Pepe Aguilar with Lupita Infante live at Inn of the Mountain Gods, June 19th. Two legendary Latin entertainers, one amazing night. Tickets on sale now for Pepe Aguilar with Lupita Infante, June 19th. Visit inofthemountaingods.com or Ticketmaster.com. Minors must be accompanied by an adult.
It's time to strike gold, black gold, at the core. The Black Gold Pickleball Tournament is back and hitting the courts May 31st and June 1st. Sign up by May 25th, just $25 for the tournament, plus $10 for each additional event. Core members get a $5 discount, and kids 13 to 17 can compete with parental consent. Dig in now at corehobbs.com and strike it rich at the Black Gold Pickleball Tournament at the Core May 31st and June 1st. Extract a win on the courts from the Core in your city of Hobbs.
Get ready for the American Legion Post 7 Spring Fishing Derby this Memorial Day weekend. They've stocked the waters, and hidden among them are tagged catfish, including one worth a whopping $1,000. But wait, there's more. Bring your best fishing game because the biggest bass hauled in will snag a great prize. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a first-time caster, this is your chance to reel in the big one. For just a $20 donation, you'll support the local American Legion Post 7, and kids under 12 fish for free. It's family-friendly fun for all ages. Sign-ups begin May 23rd at 1 p.m. at the scenic Lower Tansill Dam, kicking off 2 full days of fishing fun on Saturday, May 24th and Sunday, May 25th. And trust them, there are plenty more tag fish and exciting prizes just waiting to be hooked, including the biggest catfish worth $500. A special shout-out to the core sponsors, Varco Electric and Silver Bullet Trucking. This message is proudly brought to you by the Carlsbad Lodgers Tax, supporting local events and tourism.
Be in the Breakfast Club, being powered by Permian Ford and PermianFord.com.
So, where were we? Oh yeah, okay. Show's number 1, again.
Be in the Breakfast Club, on air, online, on your phone.
Yeah, you just might see that it's a brand new morning.
And broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio.
Snap on your helmet and adjust your cup.
9:05, it's the Indy 500. Oh, wait, it's the Wienermobile 500.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your wieners. Today, the rubber hits the bun as Oscar Mayer's legendary Wienermobile fleet relishes the chance to catch up with speed. No buns left behind. It's high-octane history in the making. So buckle up, hold your mustard, and get ready for a Frank-tastic ride.
Wienermobile coming to a city near you. Looks like Netflix sharing a trailer of a new French action thriller called KO, which is a little different than the action thriller that came out of France that was called BO. I don't know if you remember that one, Blake. It was about a women's, very hairy underpits and underarmpits and BO. It was a hairy situation.
You know, speaking of series, did you hear that, Kevin Bacon, he did that Bondsman where they hunt the demons? Right. Did you see any of that?
Yeah. Did you watch that?
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
I watched one. I'm just not into that type of,
but
I thought it was going to be different.
Yeah, yesterday he put out a statement saying, "Oh, I'm sorry everyone, but we're not going to do a second season."
Thank God. I mean, I watched
okay.
half of one, and I wasn't impressed.
It was
new reports from TriStar Pictures currently developing a movie based on Whack-A-Mole. We have completely run out of ideas for movies.
No doubt.
Whack-A-Mole. By the way, somebody's coming out with an adult film called Spank the Monkey, I'm sure. Whack-A-Mole, Spank the Mole, whatever. Johnny Mathis performed on stage for the final time in New Jersey Sunday night. He's 90 years old. I would say it's time for him to enjoy retirement.
Yep.
90 times. And Katy Perry was supposedly no longer wanted in Vegas after 3 years residency. And apparently it was a bomb. The casino actually lost money on her tour. They were like, no, thank you. She could, look, contract's over, no chances of renewal. We lost money. Not going to happen. And Tom Cruise says he plans to continue making movies until he is in his hundreds.
Yeah.
Do you really think you're going to last that long?
Well, you know, he
believes in Scientology, so yeah.
You know, the religion that L. Ron Hubbard came up with on a bet.
Yeah, on a bet. Yep. All right, we're going to talk about China. We'll get to the tax. We'll take a break. Good news coming up in a second. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Rig Outfitters and the Home Store in the Broadmoor Mall. They've got extensive collection of FR jeans, coveralls, gloves, shirts. They've got everything. Hats, work boots. Hey, go in there and check out the $99 section of boots. Of course, they also have steel toe boots and safety gear, and they've got furniture, appliances, and electronics. And they offer zero-down financing. Make sure and talk to them about that. Go to the website, rigoutfitters.com, or go to the Broadmoor Mall. They're right next to Scrub Outfitters. Scrub Outfitters has the largest selection of medical scrubs in 100 miles. Big-name brands like Dickies, Healing Hands, Mecateurs, Peaches. If you can't find the scrubs you're looking for, head over to Scrub Outfitters. They've got you covered. Plus, they have compression socks and comfy shoes. Follow them on Facebook or stop by the Broadmoor Mall. They're right next to Rig Outfitters. China is accusing the United States of turning space into a war zone. That's what they're saying after Trump announced that he wants to build the Golden Dome missile defense project. A war zone. Now, is this the same China that is continuously launching satellites up and not only that, stealing land out in every sea imaginable?
Yes.
I mean, if a sandbar pops up in the Asian Ocean, in the Chinese Sea, they're planting a damn flag. It doesn't matter if it's within 15 miles of shore or not, it's theirs. Same China we're talking about? I think that's them. So China is concerned that President Donald Trump's proposal for the new U.S. missile defense system called the Golden Dome, which is designed to protect America from its adversaries.
Right.
They think the Golden Dome is
Israel.
a strong offense nature, violates the principles of peace for the Outer Space Treaty. Wait, the first country out there to come up with the Space Force, I think that was China. Oh, it was. And then when Donald Trump came up with Space Force in America, they got people made fun of him. But yeah, they're saying that their foreign minister, Ning is urging the United States to give up development and deployment of a global anti-missile system. I bet you would want us to give that up.
I
bet you would.
Why.
By the way, China says that it was the U.S. that they're too obsessed with the offensive space dominance. Here's a great idea. Let the U.S. do the U.S. and China do China. Oh, wait, China can't live without the U.S. Oh, okay. The U.S. needs to put the U.S. first. That's what we need to do. We need to put our security ahead of anything else.
Yep.
That's what we need to do.
I agree.
But they're very concerned. China is very, very concerned. Brian Williams, you might remember that name, former Texas A&M football star, died completing a half marathon.
Oh.
So Brian Williams played football at Texas A&M for 3 seasons, died just hours after completing a half marathon. That was confirmed by his family. The race took place in Irving, Texas. 24-year-old died Sunday due to a heat stroke.
Oh, no.
Well, complications from a heat stroke.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's tough.
That was the cause. Heat stroke. And then complications following that. California man accused of recent murder was let out of jail because of his mental health issues.
So he's crazy, so they let him out.
Well, of course, it's California. California accused of, letting this guy out. This man is accused of murdering a man last week, was released from jail late 2024 because of mental health. So he got out of jail. Maybe I read that headline wrong. Got out of jail and then murdered somebody else. Jordan Murray, 25 years old, charged with murder on May 18th, stabbing a 40-year-old man to death. But in May and June of 2024, Murray was allegedly committed 2 violent robberies. But they let him out because they said he had some mental issues. They granted him a mental health diversion. And then 6 months later, he murders somebody. So would you say somebody had blood on their hands like the judge?
Yeah. Yep.
You let him out for a mental health diversion. What is a mental health diversion?
I don't know.
I have no idea either. Usually you want to lock somebody up like that.
Right.
Yes.
That's simply nuts. Why would you let this guy out? Unbelievable. Monica in the text, good news just around the corner.
All right. Morning, you guys. Do you think the spraying in the sky could be part of the Golden Dome project?
No, that's weather manipulation.
No. Most definitely.
What kind of buttons does Jeffrey Dahmer have on his coat?
What kind?
Belly buttons.
Oh.
Steve from Eunice says, my wife hates onions on anything, but will kill for onion rings. Isn't that weird?
Huh.
And Haas
different.
Haas from Artesia wants to remind everybody that Memorial Day isn't only for our fallen service members, but their families as well. God bless them all.
Amen.
But but please do not confuse it with Veterans Day.
Yeah, that's a different holiday.
When it comes to tips, I normally tip a minimum of 10%, and I go up from there. The reason is because a server has to claim 10% of their sales as tips, whether they earned that or not. So if the service is good, then my tip will go up to 20% or to 25%. But if service was bad, I will give them at least the minimum of 10% because that's what they have to claim. David and Artesia referring to that fire in Loco Hills. That fire will do some improvement on that property. And those flares are to burn off the poisonous gas that can kill you real fast.
Yeah, but they don't. They just want to control the oil and gas industry.
Right.
That's the way to shut it down.
These people are fools.
Hi, Dad, says Jimmy Burnside. And Chrissy said, pickles, onions, fried onions, you can have them in a basket or a bloom. You can have them all the time, says Bubba. And Stephen Ontiveros said, Tom A. really takes this partial retirement to an extreme.
Well, my discussion with him last night, dude, you sure are taking your time getting this done.
I do. Somebody text in with the story, and I won't read it all, but I do want to share that if you happen to be on the road and you see Tom A. driving,
get out of the way.
Get out of his way. Be very careful. Do your due diligence.
I'm gonna have to go look at that.
That is one of my big concerns.
Yes, one of mine too.
Well, let me go find it. Is that?
And I'm serious.
They stopped on the crosswalk. Is that?
Yeah, I'm not playing either.
Yeah,
I'm not joking.
If you are able to keep an eye on him, then please do.
I advise you to keep both eyes on him.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, both.
Especially, if you're driving or if you're a pedestrian.
Correct, because In reality, Tommy should not be driving right now.
Silver Tahoe.
Yeah.
So keep eye out.
Yeah.
All
And
right, two stories, then we'll take a break, Monica. We got Women's College awarded Rachel Levine an honorary degree. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Smith College is a all-female institution.
Okay.
Now, Rachel Levine was the Assistant Secretary of Health under the Biden administration. There's only one problem with this. Rachel Levine
is a woman.
Is a man.
I meant not a woman.
A non-transition man.
Danglies and
who
all.
hasn't transitioned to be a woman.
Danglies and all.
You are an all-female college. Congratulations, Smith College. And ICE captured the illegal migrant wanted for allegedly killing a mother in a DUI crash. So Immigration and Customs Enforcement captured the Ecuadorian illegal immigrant facing vehicular manslaughter in Minnesota. This crash happened in August, but they allowed him, and his blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit, killing the mother, Victoria Hartwell, and hurting her teenage daughter and her sister. Despite lack of cooperation from the Minnesota authorities, ICE arrested the criminal illegal alien, and he's been evading them. By the way, they let him out of jail. Minnesota did. So congratulations. And then he didn't show up for court, so they had an outstanding warrant for his arrest. ICE got him, and they're not playing. But thank you, Minnesota, for doing what you do. All right, we're going to take a break so we kind of stay on time before Russ Black gets very upset because Tradio is on the way. 19 after the hour 9. News this morning being brought to you by Fusion Medical Spa. Find them in Ruidoso. They're in the river crossing in Ruidoso. The entire month of May, they are giving big discounts for women. All products and procedures, they're giving discounts. And they're having the War of the Wrinkles, which means Botox is $11 per unit, administered by a registered nurse. That's $1.50 off per unit. Plus, Fusion is offering $500 off the O-Shot, which deals with women's urinary incontinence. And they're offering a product 15% off that can restart hair growth for women with thinning hair. And guys, if you're working in the patch and you're suffering, Fusion Medical Spa, Dr. Stephen Rath, is offering you an alternative to pain relief. That's stem cell therapy. Yeah, back, knees, joints, hips. Call for a free consultation today. If you've been told you need surgery, before you do that, call for a free consultation with Dr. Rath today. 575-257-4772, 257-4772. We're coming right back. It's 9:21.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Virginia House Democrat Jerry Conley died. He was 75.
Connolly revealed he was battling esophageal cancer back in November. He was the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee and represented the Commonwealth of Virginia's 11th congressional district since 2009. Connolly is the third House Democrat to pass away this year.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill, where House Republican leaders are working to win over holdouts, trying to get President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill through the Rules Committee for a full House vote tonight or tomorrow.
One of the most vexing issues has been SALT. That's a tax break for state and local taxes. There was a deal for an expanded SALT deduction. Conservatives worry about a pay-for, but New York Republicans say it's essential for their votes.
Fox's Chad Pergram, the full House vote fails if all Democrats and more than 3 Republicans vote no. America's listening to Fox News.
Get ready to ignite your senses. Smoking on the Plaza is back and hotter than ever in Lovington, New Mexico. Join the fun Friday, May 30th, starting at 4 p.m. and Saturday, May 31st at noon. It's a weekend packed with mouth-watering food, unique vendors, and electrifying live music. Friday's lineup features the Wicked West Band, Liquid Gypsy, and Pecos and the Rooftops. Saturday keeps the beat with Conjunto Bengala, followed by A.B. Quintanilla and Cumbia All-Stars. And that's not all. Experience the thrill of mechanical bull riding, glide at the skating rink, or unleash your creativity in the splatter room. This free event is Lovington Main Street's annual fundraising extravaganza. Plus, the IBCA-sanctioned cook-off is still accepting participants. Your chance to compete at Nationals awaits. Don't miss this sizzling celebration in the heart of downtown Lovington. Visit SmokingOnThePlaza.com for more info or enter your team. That's SmokingOnThePlaza.com.
Hi, this is Danny Kirkendall with Guy Chevrolet Company in Artesia. We're celebrating 100 years in business here on the corner of 1st and Main in Artesia, and we invite you to come see us for your new Chevy GMC or a just perfect pre-owned vehicle. Our GM certified team is ready to assist you, so give us a call at 575-746-3551 or visit us online at guychevy.com.
Guy Chevrolet celebrating 100 years at the corner of 1st and Main in downtown Artesia.
At Franklin Veterinary Clinic, they're a full-service clinic that offers comprehensive care for family pets, equine athletes, and livestock alike. They have multiple veterinarians on staff providing the best possible care for your animals at every stage of their life. And when emergencies arise, they offer 24-hour ambulatory services and after-hour emergency care. The new emergency number is 575-808-7725. Franklin Veterinary Clinic, a tradition and excellence in caring, proudly serving Lincoln, Chavez, and Otero counties.
The global demand for oil and natural gas is growing, and leaders are looking to American producers to satisfy that demand with the abundant resources available in our country. If you're passionate about keeping energy affordable for your neighbor and reliable for everyone, then it's time you consider a career in oil and natural gas. Coterra Energy is expanding their Permian team and is offering an unmatched employee benefits package. If you're interested in applying, text Coterra to 71441. That's COTERRA to 71441. Coterra Energy is an equal opportunity employer.
It's a great time to buy a Kubota. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, or up to $3,000 off a L3302 compact Kubota tractor. Now through 6/30/2015, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. Visit Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see them online at amigo-machinery.com.
I'm VA Rob. If you're a veteran or active duty and considering a home purchase or refinance, use my rate ticker to lock in your rate. As rates drop, our rate ticker program will lock in your VA rate. Avoid the bottleneck to refi or purchase and apply now. Get the best mortgage rate. We don't even need to run your credit. No one cares more about your VA loan than VA Rob. Learn more and apply online. VARob.net, proudly serving vets. NMLS 199-348-993-177.
Did you know that when you become employed with Eddy County, you'll be receiving one of the best and most competitive benefits packages in southeast New Mexico? Eddy County offers great pay, paid vacation, paid sick leave, and holiday pay. In addition, you get para-retirement and for full-time employees, 100% health insurance paid and 60% for your dependents. You can find a list of open positions and apply at New Mexico Workforce Connection or online at eddycounty.org. Eddy County is an equal opportunity employer.
Get ready for some serious fun at the 4th annual Turfs Flag Football Tournament, hosted by United Way of Lee County. Coming up Saturday, June 14th, 2025 at Hobbs High School's Watson Stadium. Gates open at 8 a.m. and it's a full day of excitement with food vendors, family fun, and a special appearance by football star Jadian High. Even better, it's all for an amazing cause. Every dollar raised supports the Hobbs Schools Crisis Fund, helping kids facing homelessness stay in school and succeed. Think you've got what it takes? Team registration is open now, but don't wait. The deadline to register is May 30th. Sign up your team, show your skills, and be part of something bigger than the game. That's the Turfs Flag Football Tournament, Saturday, June 14th at Watson Stadium. Football, food, fun, and giving back. Don't miss it. See you there.
This show is powered by Permian Ford. Stop by and see Daniel Bellis today. Call now or text 877-396-W105. to talk to Bee in the Breakfast Club.
Call me Elf one more time.
If you're in a car with a liberal who doesn't want to listen to Bee in the Breakfast Club, make him get out and walk. Anyway, they're helping to save the environment.
Good news of the day being brought to you by Farmers Insurance Agent Herschel Rustin Hayes, Avenue D in Lovington. Give him a call, 575-396-0513. Home auto, life insurance, commercial insurance. Rustin Hayes is available. Give him a call, 575-396-0513. Proud sponsor of the good news of the day.
An 87-year-old guy in Montreal was out for a walk last Thursday when he had a heart attack, and a random stranger saved his life. They did CPR for like 20 minutes until paramedics got there, then vanished, and no one knows who it was. Guardian angel. And the Philadelphia Flyers just added a new member to their squad. It's a puppy named Stanley, as in Stanley Cup, and they're taking care of him and training him to be good around people, so he'll be a service dog for a veteran or a first responder. And in senior dog news, if you haven't seen this, it's pretty heartwarming. A family in Pennsylvania praised the employees at their local Texas Roadhouse for making sure their dog's final meal was a great one. Their 8-year-old Great Dane developed a tumor in her nose and had to be put down last month, so they got her a steak, an 8-ounce New York strip with fries and mashed potatoes. They ordered it online and wrote that it was their dog's last meal, so the cook took time to make sure it was the best steak they had ever made. They also wrote "Made with Love" on the container, and staff members all signed the note that said, "I'm so sorry." The family recently went in for dinner to thank everyone in person. And that's good news in a lot of ways. Thank you for doing that for your animal friend and for all the wait staff there at Texas Roadhouse. Kevin?
All right, it's already 9:29. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow for the Thursday edition of the show. News this morning being brought to you by Roach Air Conditioning and Heating. Give them a call if you have problems with your AC. We're getting closer to triple-digit weather. The air conditioning's not putting out. Make sure and call Enrique Rocha. His number at Roach Air Conditioning and Heating, 575-631-1999. Our go-to company for heating and air conditioning, Rocha Air Conditioning and Heating. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Tradio is up next.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, at around